Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello. It's the static AM radio. It's the cool Red Hot Nielsen Show. Let's go. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macramalla intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and how about an 8-game heater? What's going on, everybody? Dustin and Lieutenant Eric with you. We got some gold songs to get to. Zach Hyman, Leon Draisaitl, the Chicago Blackhawks losing to your Edmonton Oilers by a score of 4-1. Pull the goalie when you're down 3 with 3.5 minutes left, you cowards. I was very disappointed.
What's the difference losing by 3 or 4 or 5?
Well,
I mean,
Eric, there's a significant difference for all of us who are riding on the EST parlay.
Not for the Blackhawks.
Not for the Blackhawks.
Whatever. You're going to lose the game,
I mean,
lose the game. Lose it with some,
Do you want to try to win? Or are you just going to stand there and bleed? I mean, I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. I'm sitting there on the couch. I'm sure many other people were too, and I was just like, pull the goalie. You're down 3. We saw it last game. Like, Jersey pulled their goalie. I wanted them to do it, obviously, so the Oilers could get that 5th goal, because outside of that, it really wasn't a sweat on that EST parlay. We got the McDavid 2 points. We got the Bouchard point. We got the Hyman point. We got the Nuge point. Got them all, and got the -1.5, got the spread. Just needed the Oilers to score 5 last night, and they had to settle for 4. And what was described on the postgame show by some of you in the Nasty Chat as just kind of like a boring win.
That's what you want.
Yeah,
that's what you need.
Really good teams do get boring wins. And the Oilers' wins are always, for the last few years, have always been like sort of thrilling all the time. But this is just another tidy victory. Like
trap game, schmap game.
Schmap game. Schmap game on that. Marshall went to bed in a tizzy last night because he had his Christmas concert, so it was already kind of late, but I let him stay up. He saw the Bedard goal. By the way, the Bedard goal was ridiculous. Like, I straight up, when he did that, I was like, I swore. I said, holy bleep.
Well, you get it all. You get his highlight goal, a little sample of him, but you come away with the win.
It was
the best of everything.
What an absolute snipe job by Conor Bedard. The release on that kid is absolutely ridiculous. So I was just like, it gets to the commercial shortly after the goal. I'm like, hey, Marsh, you gotta go to bed, buddy. It's 8:30. So he comes walking into his bed and he kind of slams his door. I said, what's up? He goes, I'm so mad. I hate Conor Bedard. I was just like, it's okay, buddy. I said, they're going to come back and win. So, I lay him down in bed. He's not settling, whatever. I was just like, I said, are you okay? He goes, I'm angry, Daddy. I was just like, calm down, man. Like, it's going to be fine.
He appreciates talent, though, when he sees it.
Right? That's what I thought. I thought I'd be like, it was a really good shot. He didn't care. He's just like, I can't stand Conor Bedard. He hates it. He got to watch the game for like 7 minutes and the Hawks score, right? So he's So put him to bed, go downstairs to the living room, and Tammy and I are kind of watching the game, and then Nuge buries one. Roof Daddy! So we'll get to that as we work our way through the show. And then she goes, she's got like the camera in Marshall's room. She goes, he's still like, he's got the pillow over his head. He's like kicking and tossing
Pacing
and turning
around the room.
I was just like, so she goes, I'm going to go up and tell him that Nuge scored. So she went up and told him that Nuge scored, and he started to calm down a little bit. But
Just hear a
yeah,
shriek from the top.
he just all of a sudden just comes into his room. He's just pissed. He's like, I can't stand Bedard. I was just like, wow, all right. I like this rivalry. My 8-year-old son versus Connor Bedard. So
Not everybody
we got that
can
going
like
for
him,
us.
hey?
Yeah, that's well, Tammy comes downstairs. She goes, how can he already hate Connor Bedard? I said, this is what happens with sports fans. You know, somebody scores against your team, puts you down. You're not going to like the guy. I said, relax. It's going to be
Marshall's
just
dug
fine.
in. Yeah, he's dug in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. All right, let's get to some of the nasty chat. Hey, tell us about what's going on with Box Pounder's nut here. He says, shh, but you can't lay that out there in the nasty chat. Did he
I'll say it.
Did he say I'd give up my nut for an 8-game winning streak?
He'd give his left or right for a 10-game heater.
Oh, boy.
And he said this. He said this before, and then he brought it up the other night at Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Centric Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. And I think that was around 6 maybe.
So he's doubled down on the I'd give up my left nut for a 10-game
He keeps
heater.
bringing it up, and now we're getting ever so close to the 10 games. And
Well, look, I'm good. Look, I'll throw this out there. If Otani would have signed, everybody in the nasty chat was going to be like, Macramalla's got to shave his head.
you were
He
eating
said
sushi.
it, and like I
you
said,
were
even
dining in on a California roll.
if
here.
Macramalla shaved his head and wore a hat to hide it from everybody forever, I don't think we're gonna give him a pass on this. So I think we have to call it Box Pounder. If the Oilers win 10 in a row, you have to come into our Edmonton Sports Talk studios, and we will have YouTube Trev, who's from Pincher Creek, Alberta, surgically remove one of your nuts. Trev, do you think you could remove Box Pounder's ball for him?
Maybe, but I don't really want to. But
Hey, man,
bite down on this.
This is what happens when you talk a big game.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, it's 10 games. It's unprecedented territory here,
As
right?
junior producer here, Trev,
the
it's
new-
your role
Oh, gosh.
to remove Box Pounder's testicle.
We've all done it.
bring him in. Bring him
Yeah,
in.
yeah, that would be quite the scene, wouldn't it? Anyway, Box Pounder, we'll see how it plays out. We will see how it plays out from
tight
here.
here,
We're taking that nut from you, buddy. You got to be careful.
pound of flesh.
You can't come in talking this big game, man, and then have that happen, right? That would be tough.
I think we all made a lot of promises, right? In the earlier on in the season. I
Earlier
think a
on
lot
in
of
the
people
season,
signed
I mean-
deals with the devil that
didn't want to cash, but here
we are.
Here they are. Here they are. YouTube Trev as he gets ready to take away Box Pounder's nut.
Just breathe.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at this, look at that.
Look at this, look at that. By the way, Spit and Chicklets, I'll give them credit. They took that Bedard goal and threw the MJHL call behind it, and it worked out really well. The Roof Daddy, what's he going to do? That's amazing stuff.
Joey Bielik has it. He turns back.
Joey
Looks like
Bielik
they're doing a
has
little
it.
reverse that you might see in football. And here comes Bazin. He's got some speed. Split the D. Oh, what's he going to do? He's shooting the Roof Daddy. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Look at that.
Kind of works for Nuge's goal last night, too. Like, Nuge's goal was straight up Roof Daddy as well, which I think you got to take at that point. So, yeah, I mean, that blew up. Obviously, yesterday, just because it was an amazing call.
Well,
We
the
had
clip
some fun with
yesterday,
it.
and then you're looking at the game last night. You're looking at every single moment you can fit that
Bedard,
in, right?
well,
Like-
Bedard kind of technically sort of half-ass splits the D.
Yeah.
Bouchard just kind of come over here, and it was a late change on the left side, so I couldn't get there in time. So it worked out well. Straight up Roof Daddy for sure. Strummy's in and says, Marshall will be a great follow on Twitter in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Marshall on Twitter already last night before he goes to bed gets his phone and just puts out F Bedard. Just filthiest little
Nasty stuff.
8-year-old of all time. I like that. Your 8-year-old son may be taller than Bedard. Can you legally have 2-foot lifts in skates? Yeah, he's not far off. He's tall. He's just as tall as his grandma now, and he's 8. Now, she's not a tall woman, but she was over last night to look after the Muzz when we went to Marshall's Christmas party, and I was like, "Oh, you're as tall as grandma now."
Marshall bent down to give her a kiss.
Yeah, grandma kisses her on her forehead. Well, he was in the back row at the Christmas concert last night, and you could have walked in and looked at that group for 1 second and been like, "There's Dusty's kid," because he's in the back row with all the other tall kids,
Posting up.
but he's like a head taller than all of them. It was hilarious.
So that went okay. Attendance issues, everything was
No,
good.
it was smoother last
Fights
night.
with the
I don't know if
ushers.
it was because it was like grades 3 and 4, and everything just sort of operated smoother. But back-to-back Christmas party nights, I ended up saying it overall was kind of a success.
Highlights, lowlights. What was your favorite song? Was there a favorite play?
They did a nice rendition of "Joy to the World."
That's a nice one, yeah.
And I got up right in front of him at the end and put 2 light sockets together, just like Clark. Just like Clark. By the way, we are a week away from Christmas movie character draft right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We'll dive into that a little bit later on.
Creeping up on us here.
Well,
eh?
we got to get some categories put together and stuff.
Well, that's usually the commissioner's job.
Nah, but we don't like it when the commission does it. It's supposed to be a conversation between all of us.
Okay.
So I've got some notes that I was going to
right.
send out to the group text, but we can go over them on the show and then send it out to everybody today. C.M says 10 straight would beat our team's highest win streak. Would be great to see. That is true. They are 2 games away, 1 game away from tying it, which they did last year. They tied the old record. Tampa Bay and Florida now. I don't want to. We got your morning after show. We'll lay out the show for you here. There's a lot to get to, but last night, they weren't dominant, but they were the better team for sure last night after the opening 10, 15
That
minutes.
defense.
I thought Chicago brought it pretty good.
It's like Marshall's Christmas play back there.
Just tight.
The Blackhawks defense.
The Blackhawks.
I mean,
I thought you were talking about the Oilers defense.
No,
yeah.
I mean, it's.
But with the way that Chicago kind of dictated the first 10, 15 minutes of that game, if you do that against your next 2 opponents, could get you in a little bit of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You're going to need better starting against Tampa and Florida. So I wonder if that was one of those ones where it's like, it's starting to slip just a little bit. But then they came back very nicely. I mean, they dictated the final 2 periods of the hockey game. Was excellent. But, yeah, 2 more to complete the sweep here on this homestand.
Your toughest test,
quite something.
you could argue. Hey, I mean, they've both been around 500.
I thought Carolina was going to be the toughest test, but they absolutely rolled over Carolina. So, but yeah, these two games won't be easy. But with the way that they're playing as of late, I think you have to probably like them. John is in and says, "Boys, I'll get my wife to do it. She removed both of my nuts a long time ago." Mandate John sliding in today. Absolutely love it. 780-218-9999. It is the Paris Jewelers inbox. Go see our friends at Old PJ's. 22 locations across the country. If you are Christmas shopping for your loved ones or even ones that you just like right now, you can get it done at Paris Jewelers. Visit them at parisjewelers.com to get a look at everything. And if you got a huge nerd in the family, you'll get some of that Marvel and Star Wars gear that they've got at Paris Jewelers for the holidays.
Be a nice Christmas gift.
Be very
outside
nice.
of the action figures and
just to mix it up.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all these cool figurines you got me. Oh, and the R2D2 ring.
Bling.
That would be pretty cool. One of you will end up getting your hands on the gift certificate to A&W for text of the day today. That's a $20 gift card to A&W, which right now could get you 4 Mama Burgers if you want. Mama Burgers are $9.99 for 2 of them this month. Not too shabby. I think you got to like that. Haven't got anything specifically set up, like a plan to get you in the mix for text today, but Macramalla intros can usually do that for you here on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
It is a Wednesday. We got a bunch of Macramalla intros already rolling in. This is a good one. This is from old Tommy Rubella, EST legal analyst and guy who is not legally allowed to own a Santa suit or wear one within 800 feet of his home. That's a pretty good one. EST legal analyst and guy whose beard is only there to hide his Wu-Tang face tattoo.
I like that. That's why I didn't say he'd shave that. It just ahead.
EST legal analyst and guy who's always first to tap out during his neighborhood's annual orgy skills competition.
There we go.
Skills
competition.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Designed by Connor McDavid. The orgy skills competition.
Yeah, and we'll get into the skills comp as they try to determine the most skilled player in the league for $1 million.
I like the obstacle course. Some sort of obstacle course,
well,
like American
helped
Gladiators.
come up with all this stuff, so yeah. EST legal analyst and guy who paid Yuppie $2,300 in hush money after things went a bit too far during his recent Bell Center seat visit.
Kodak Black all over again.
That's a good one as well.
Maybe he was the one that pulled the 1-of-1, Tommy Brady, that you were talking to me off the
Yeah,
air.
we'll get into that when we do some crack packing.
I have to ask him about that one.
We'll get into our advent calendars a little bit later on. Top's dropping just an amazing commercial, too. We'll get into that as we work our way through the 6 o'clock hour today. We are coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studios, where things are red hot. Actually, Furby yesterday from Popeyes was texting me about our address.
Oh.
So I'm wondering, and he didn't ask for the postal code yet.
Okay,
So I don't know if there's a drop-off coming,
Drop.
or I would think maybe it's just Christmas card delivery, and he's going to text me today for, postal code. We've been getting tons of Christmas cards, by the way. It's great.
You think it's a card, and then you get the chicken, and then you're happy. You don't think it's the chicken, and you don't get card.
No, this is a big box that smells delicious just for a card.
I drove past there every day going home.
The new one.
But the little Coca-Cola truck, the van was out there yesterday. They're
loading
probably
in the
feeding
pop
the
and stuff.
lines. It's
Oh,
all
yeah.
happening. Every day there's a new little vehicle outside of there, and it's taking shape, baby.
That's my New Year's resolution. My New Year's resolution is for that new Popeyes to open. That's it. I mean, I'm going to accomplish it.
You're a happy man.
It's
Check.
going to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best New Year's resolution that you could possibly have. So I think that's good. They've got those 5 flavors of wings out now. You can't go wrong. Signature hot, honey garlic, honey barbecue, garlic parm, ghost pepper. Why not just surprise the crew around the office? I'm talking your offices, not ours.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do it too. But surprise the crew around your office one day over lunch, just DoorDash, skip the dishes, Uber Eats, whatever. A bunch of wings for the boys and the girls.
Make a little Christmas game. You mentioned all the flavors. Have a little taste testing blindfold or
fun,
something.
too.
You get incorporated into the Christmas season. Everybody's having fun. Maybe
You always have great ideas.
I don't know about that, but
Yeah, that's a good one. Jared, EST legal analyst and guy who not only looks at this, but looks at that.
Look at this. Look at that.
Jared, that's good. Text that one in, too. Gonna get you the mix maybe for text of the day, 780-218-9999. Let's lay out the show for you today. We do have lots to get to. The second hour is going to be great today. A couple awesome guests as we do every single Wednesday. We will have your morning after show coming up for EM Utility Locating. Probably dive into that bad boy right away here. We'll get that in before 6:30. At 6:30 today, we'll have the sports update for Green Plan. Lieutenant Eric's 12 Days of Christmas. Coming up in the second half of the 6 o'clock hour. Hey, if you need a conch this morning, I got it on a hotkey.
you're like Pete Tong over here. I love it.
Yeah.
You're gonna live with me now.
Me to the new hotkey board.
You're gonna live with me now. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. Cause I love you. Oh, I love you, John. Oh, I love you,
Too much fun. I want something like I want a full-blown piano. Where every single key just plays a different clip from the vault.
I think we
That would
strap
be
a
shame.
little keytar to
The
your
whole
chest.
song. Oh
and
man,
you
if you're looking for something for Christmas, I'd take a guitar. That'd be good. We got some goal songs. What do we got? We got Draisaitl. We got too. Hyman.
Gagne.
We'll get to those. No Sam Gagne goal song, but how about that little Gagne? If ain't getting another one. My goodness. And people are like, "Whoa, Conor Brown's still doing lots of great things." Sam Gagne scoring goals. I mean, simple enough.
There is a text on Bouchard.
Is it about the Norris Trophy?
Still don't love the way he defends that goal against, and it goes on. I'll leave. Hey, Hersey. Hersey's asking the tough questions this morning.
We'll get into that. Jamie McLennan will join us just after 7 o'clock today. Cool Bed Hotline of the day. Free advice for local slumlord Damon Bunting. He's going to be by here tomorrow, I think. Come by to shoot a little he's come by to shoot a little Christmas video. So we should see Bunting. I don't know if you're listening right now. You'll be listening later in the day, but let's get some more of those waters in here. Christmas treats.
Let's just get some more of you.
Yeah.
I really like when you're around, Damon. He's just a good guy. He's a positive vibe guy.
Okay.
That's all there is. Wear that Lebowski shirt that you
wear the dude's sweater.
good guy.
That'd be great. Anyway, if you need free advice, be ready for that. We'll go there around 7:30 this morning. Macramalla taking a victory lap on the Otani tweet that he's never, ever going to come to Toronto because nobody wants to. And he was right. And he's probably right.
He should have a parade.
A
one-float parade down some Ottawa.
I do want to get
street.
his thoughts on the deferred contract. Like Macramalla's a great guest to have on today, so we'll certainly go there. Kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. The weekly rankings of Power. Power, you had great rankings last week.
Yes,
That
it
was
is
a
the season,
real fun
so we'll try
discussion
to
there.
keep that going.
Continue to try to get ready to set up this Christmas draft that will be happening next Wednesday with new commissioner Quinn Phillips. Long live the Quinn. She's going to be in to oversee the draft. The draft will still be hosted by disgraced former commissioner Matthew Iwanek, who's the host of the Hangout. So he'll be hosting pre- and post-draft
Yeah,
discussion.
it's kind of he wears the hat, but it's only a title, right? It's a hollow title.
Pretty much.
He's just
he's
a
a host.
placeholder there. It's
Very
kind of
cool.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, let's get into your morning after show, brought to you by EM Utility Locating. What?
Oh,
It started too late. It must have just been wrapping up. Hang on.
it's all gone, Pete.
I'll hit it again. Here we go.
There's something happening here. The Oilers look a lot better this year. Another win, put 2 points on the board. Telling me your faith is restored. I think it's time you stop. Listen, here we go. Wake up with the morning after show. This year's team's looking strong. Connor and Leon, they can't do no wrong. 6 o'clockers are losing their minds. Getting so many messages on the text line. Think it's time you stop. Listen, here we go. Wake up with the morning after show.
8 in a row for the Edmonton Oilers. It is your morning after show for EM Utility Locating. Visit them at emutilitylocating.com because you might be sitting there being like, oh, what can these guys do for me? Well, I'll tell you what they can do for you. GPR and concrete scanning, damage prevention, planning, design, education, and training. Anything that you need to learn about the digging of underground or anything you need help with when it comes to what's going on underground before a project, EM Utility Locating has you covered. They indeed are getting the credit for taking the deep dig, the deep dive on the Oilers season and essentially turning this thing around.
If they can do that, they can handle anything that you
I think that's
toss
fair.
their way. Yeah, they're up for the
Right?
challenge.
I don't want to put too high
They
of
want another-
expectations on them, but
Ready to go.
they can help you do anything.
Box pounder. You might
Yeah.
Maybe they can help you with this little bet you got
How
going on.
how you gonna weasel your way out of this one, box pounder?
Somebody suggested you go to Paris Jewelers and ask about a prosthetic or something.
Yeah, Matt, to Matt,
24
and the
carats.
crew over at our great partners at PJ's.
Just a rock.
Do you sell fake nuts?
A big ruby.
I love a 24 karat. Is that a thing? A 24 karat gold left testicle.
Yeah, just
Feels just like the real thing somehow.
walking on a
Yeah. You're spending your whole time
Scoliosis.
lopsided. Man, you can do it with eyeballs,
Yeah, that's true.
Just saying.
Yeah, why not?
teeth. Lots of fake stuff. Conor Bedard opened the scoring last night, 3:21 in on a pretty sick little snipe. Hersey hates the way that Bouchard played it.
Yeah.
He was wide. I mean, I'll say he was wide. I also thought like the left D-man had been a little late making a change, which meant Ekholm wasn't able to be where he was supposed to be. So we'll get to the text from Hersey in a second, but I'm not going to rake Bouchard over the coals on that one. Nuge would tie it about 6 minutes later, his 6th of the year from McDavid and Bouchard. Sam Gagner from Derek Ryan, and a nice little forecheck from Kulak to kind of pop that puck loose. Derek Ryan is there, dishes it out to Sam Gagner, and the old boys contribute.
The old
that's
goat.
nice to
Yeah.
see. Yeah. Leon Draisaitl gets the old lucky bounce. And that one goes. They did give assists to Gagner and Ceci on that play. And then Zach Hyman, 43 seconds into the third period, which is when I started feeling really good about the EST parlay hitting. We needed one more goal in the last 19 minutes of that hockey game from the Oilers last night. They were not able to do it, and while they might be happy with the win, I am disappointed that it wasn't a 5-1 game. Hyman, 16th of the year. McDavid and Bouchard with the assist there. McDavid's point streak to 10 games. Bouchard's point streak to 12 games. I think Bedard's point streak actually rolls to 10 games.
Yep.
On the goal that he scored last night as well. What was the EST big moment that happened, buddy? What are you going with?
It's the Bedard goal.
Yeah?
I know it runs against the style of play here this morning, but this was one of those games where it was marketed in the States, right? Half of a doubleheader. I know a little late, but it was all marketed as the Connor v. Connor, and no offense to Brown or Murphy, but all the cameras were on them, and it was nice to see him kind of go in, do what he did for the people in attendance and watching, and a very nice stylistic goal for him. He gets it, 1-0. You're like, okay. And then the Oilers go in and take care of business. It's a night where you weren't too stressed out as an Oilers fan. You got your Bedard highlight, look at this, look at that. And everybody, I think, goes home happy. Even probably the Chicago Blackhawks for some strange reason. I don't know. Because they only lost 4-1 and not 6-1.
Yeah.
Even not pulling the goalie. So, yeah, I'll go with the Bedard goal. Good to see in those matchups and those moments. You always, what are they were, I don't know if, was it that big of a deal? I know the broadcast, like, this is, you'll never forget where you are when you see these. Okay, but like.
Yeah, I mean, most of you probably remember that you were in bed.
Yeah, but for the people there, getting to see a sweet Connor Bedard goal and an Oilers,
the Oilers take over
comfortable
from
win,
there.
that's what you want.
It kind of was the best of both worlds for just hockey fans in general.
Yeah.
Like for Blackhawks fans who were in attendance.
One of those nights.
They were probably going in expecting to get pumped anyway.
Yeah,
They didn't even get pumped as badly as we thought they would.
Yeah.
And they got to see Connor Bedard with, a really, really nice goal. So, yeah, I could see that. I will go with big moment that happened. I'll go with the Draisaitl goal just because it was still just a 2-1 hockey game at the time. And Chicago wasn't necessarily going away. I don't think they were overly threatening that much at that point. And I know it was a lucky bounce, but, Draisaitl, that one Draisaitl back check. Now, I always go, until those don't stand out, you need to see them more often, until you just expect it. But YouTube Trev, like last night, everybody knows the back check I'm talking about. He blew past two of his other teammates, lifted that stick just inside the blue line, and sent the puck back the other way. That was probably the best back check of the entire season for Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah, easily. It's nice to see, and even just he's been snake bitten as of late. You can just see he's banging his stick every time he gets off the bench or off the ice to go to the bench. So it just helped with his confidence as well, and it's going to help a lot. So he was looking lights out last night. Like he was bringing it. But it would have been nice to see him. I'm surprised he didn't score more, but
but he got the one.
He had his
last night.
chances, but of course the one that goes in is it's going to be something like that. That's just kind of how it's going for him right now.
His 12th of the season. Super stat of the night. What do you got, Rick? What jumps off the page for
957 957 957 957 9. I know 23 shots. I know the opposition. But when you see the number and the streak Skinner's on and the talk that I'm going to celebrate it whenever it is. I don't care what division team he's playing, how old they are, whatever. As long as he's getting those numbers and his streak continues as well, and he's happy and he's smiling and he's feeling good about himself, I'll celebrate it. 957, Superstar of the Night.
Yeah, the thing, this comes back around to the conversation at the beginning of the year when people are like, what the issue here is? It's the goaltending. It was never the goaltending. Even with Jack Campbell, who had better numbers than Skinner through the first whatever it was before he was sent down, the team was playing horse bleep defense in front of these guys. It was backdoor tap-ins. It was odd man rushes. You could not tell me that this is just turned around because all of a sudden Skinner's standing on his head. That's not the case. He's just playing steady. They're really not giving up anything in front of him. He was just a rather routine night. He was great. But he didn't have to be excellent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He did what was required of him last night because he played behind a competent defensive group in front of him, which we could not say at the beginning of the season. So I think you have to like the play of Skinner last night. The Bedard shot, I think even Skinner said after the game, sometimes you just got to give a guy credit for a ridiculous shot. And that's what it was. Bedard managed to change the angle on it just a bit before. It was like, boom, boom. Just amazing snipe. Roof dadding. Super sad of the night. You have to like what you saw from Skinner last night. I'll go with Sam Gagner's 10 minutes, goal, assist, +2, couple of shots. Managed to get that fourth line 10 minutes last night. in a game like that. Kind of nice to see, so we'll go there. 3 stars of last night's hockey game, and we'll get to the 4-star in a second and see if they were the same as they announced on TV last night. No, they are different. Connor McDavid, this would be the in-house 3 stars. Connor McDavid, Evan Bouchard, and Sam Gagner getting the 3rd star of the game last night.
What were the other?
I'm trying to think what it was. It was.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
It was
I'm going with
McDavid,
Zach Hyman.
It was Bouchard, and it was I thought it was was it
A Blackhawk?
Blackhawk?
Yeah.
Was it a Blackhawk last night? Who was watching the? I remember watching it. Yeah. Anyway,
Hyman.
Zach Hyman.
The Hart chase is on firmly, as we found out yesterday, right? And he's answered the call. The bell is rung, and he's answered it. So it's his 16th of the season there. Pretty tidy night as well. Just going over his numbers, but that's him, right? It's. I don't know if he got the painter, the plunger, or anything. 4 shots, goal, just over 17 minutes. Zach Hyman, 4th star.
I got zeros across the board here. We got zeros. We got zeros across the board for Joey Anderson.
No.
Anderson, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 points, 0 PIMs,
0 time
0
on ice.
hits, 0 shots. Played almost 15 minutes like he wasn't even there. So that'll be your 38th star of the game.
Thanks.
One Joey Anderson of the Chicago Blackhawks managed to play 14-27 and not accomplish anything last night.
Hit.
EM Utility Locating, Steady Eddie of the evening. By the way, Conor Brown was close to zeros across the board last night, too. He did have 1 shot on goal.
They won, though. You can't.
Played just over 14 minutes. Let's see. Steady Eddie of the evening last night.
Desharnais got the plunger. I'm staring at it.
He did, hey?
Gagner with that beret on, though. That
And
fits.
Desharnais
There's
with
a
the
few
plunger.
kids, yeah.
What did Desharnais do to plunge last night? I'm trying to think. I'll go Steady Eddie of the evening with T.S. Ekholm.
Oh.
Just over 22 minutes. 5 hits. I don't really know what else he's supposed to do on the Bedard goal, to be honest with you. I mean, that's just a nice
right
play
there,
made
yeah.
by a guy. He kind of
As you
was
say,
late
the
coming off because of
release
the late
was- yeah.
change. Kind of put him in a bad spot. Let's go with Matthias Ekholm as your Steady Eddie of the evening for EMUtilityLocating.com. That'll be your morning after show as the Edmonton Oilers roll on 8 wins in a row. Tampa and Florida to wrap up the homestand, and they have they've got themselves back over 500, which is nice. Balaneski says Gagner was the 3rd star on TV. Were those the 3 stars on TV last night? Maybe it's the New Jersey game. I'm still thinking of the 3 stars, and it was a Devil that was the 3rd star.
Jesper Bratt, I think.
Was it Jesper Bratt possibly in that game? For some reason, my mind's blinking. I watched the 3 stars last night, but I'm not remembering them correctly, which is wild. All right, we've got Lieutenant Eric's 12 Days of Christmas coming up. We're going to discuss the Christmas draft here. Did you see this Kochakov thing last night on the poke check on the penalty shot? Kachuk, full-blown baby here. I don't know.
I don't know why he was so, like...
Yeah, it wasn't even like a diving poke check. It was just sort of a regular poke check. And, Kachuk was all rattled last night. The St. Louis Blues have fired Berube. We'll get into that as we continue to work our way through the show. Draymond Green is an idiot once again. You see Draymond last night?
Draymond Green is an idiot.
Like,
once again.
I just don't understand this guy.
Yeah,
Time
you do.
after time after time. He's just a clown.
Can't resist.
And they're going to put this guy in the bloody Hall of Fame for averaging like 11 points per game in his career and doing a bunch of stupid stuff along the way. Anyway, we'll get into that. What an idiot. He's just an idiot.
He is an idiot.
Yeah,
he got beat by Kevin Hart in the 3-point competition. That's embarrassing.
That is tough. Kevin Hart can't even jump up and touch the ball.
No, yeah, like what
You know
the
what I mean? Like, that's tough. Crack Pack Christmas continues as well. We'll get into that as we work our way towards 7 o'clock. Let's get to a sports update from Lieutenant Eric to get us going today. Of course, you can text us anytime. Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Jamie McLennan and Eric Macramalla both coming up here in hour number 2 today. Keep those Macramalla intros rolling in. Could be how you end up winning text of the day today because there are some good ones. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a grind today for text of the day. We'll see how that goes. Sports update for Green Plan with LT.
Make it 8 straight wins for the Edmonton Oilers. Evan Bouchard and Connor McDavid each extending their point streaks as the Oilers bested the Blackhawks 4-1. Oilers' 6-game homestand will continue tomorrow against Tampa and wrap up Saturday night against the Panthers. Other action last night, Kraken shutting out the Panthers 4-0. Canucks over Tampa 4-1. Vegas topped the Flames in overtime 5-4. Sharks over the Jets 2-1, and Pittsburgh defeat Arizona by a score of 4-2. Blues firing head coach Craig Berube last night, naming Drew Bannister from AHL Springfield interim head coach. Blues have lost 4 straight and sit tied with the Oilers on 27 points. 5 games around the NHL later tonight. The Raptors are back in action tonight. They'll host Atlanta in one of 9 games around the NBA. And Champions League action, group stage action, wrapping up later this morning and this afternoon. Newcastle United need a win against AC Milan and a PSG loss in order to advance. Sports Update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting services. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit green-plan.com or give them a call, 780-455-4292.
Hey everyone, I'm Zach Hyman of the Edmonton Oilers.
She's so tenacious.
Hope you guys enjoy it.
Revving up his engine, listen to the crowd just roar. No reason for tension, Zach is gonna shoot and score. Hyman's in the scoring zone. Right into the scoring zone. Signed for 7 years, now he's playing by McDavid's side. He's got you jumping out of your seat, 'cause of that look in his eyes. Hyman's in the scoring zone. He'll take you right into that scoring zone. You know he's gonna score a few. Playing with Conor, it's a top line overload. You'll finally see what he can do. So raise your hands up as high as they can go.
He always said that was a magician's secret.
His energy is contagious.
Playing with an edge, that's what you're gonna see. Taking the next step, 'cause he's no longer with the Leafs. Hyman's in the scoring zone. He'll take you right into that scoring zone. Hyman's in the scoring zone. He'll take you right into that scoring zone.
Hyman in the scoring zone again. That song's getting a lot of run. Charted in the top 10 this season. Dude's in the running for the Hart Trophy, right? According
It's,
to Wally Wilder,
hits the heart, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's done really well. Dan is in and says, guys, I cannot believe we just missed that homer parlay. I know. It was this close. Needed one more goal. I thought it was Hyman who's actually going to get it. He was in all alone, like in close there with like 6-ish minutes left maybe. And Dan Mrazek made the save. I thought that was it. That was the one I swore out loud when he didn't score that one. I really wanted that one last night. I was also on Connor over 1.5 points, so it kind of came out even on the night, but that would have been the big hit in that EST parlay. Would have been nice last night. You know, we got a couple more goal songs still to come here. Draisaitl and McNuge. Because that was an even strength
Now
marker.
we're talking.
And when McDavid and Nugent Hopkins combine on even strength goals, we play this.
I see a good thing arising. I see more goals on the way. I see McNugent, it is frightening. I see great greatness when they play. They scored a goal tonight. Will make Nuge is quite a sight. It don't matter who's on the right. I see their chemistry a growing. I know this duo could be huge. I see the talent overflowing. I hope the Poho keeps a Nuge. They scored a goal tonight. Will make Nuge is quite a sight. It don't matter who's on the right. All right.
Nugent Hopkins, clip bomb. Bottom
Overtime.
of the shot. McDavid does take it, and he scores. Power play goal, Connor McDavid.
Hope that these guys stay together. Hope you see the skill you can't deny. Looks like coaching them is a pleasure. Aikens would have seen it in their eyes. They scored a goal tonight. Will make Nuge quite a sight. It don't matter who's on the right.
Woo, you gotta like that one. That gets you going on a Wednesday, does it not? How can it not?
It don't matter who's on the right.
It don't matter who's on the right. I just love watching YouTube Trevor there just kind of nodding his head with that mustache right now. Your stash is rivaling Stuart Skinner's, buddy. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a lot of people are saying that. Was it? I think it was Surveyor Brad. He posted yesterday when I was on the Hangout. Like,
That picture of you.
Yeah, it was like wrong answers only. What does this guy do for a living? And the comments were awesome. But pretty well, all of them were saying Stuart Skinner.
It's a fabulous
Nice.
mustace. Fabulous
Dude,
mustache.
thank you.
Got the Will Fraser
Yeah, I
seal
don't know,
of approval
man.
the other day.
Did Fraser
Oh,
say nice stash?
Yeah, like
he's about to kiss him.
It's so weird. Like I'll just be walking and like people will be like, nice mustache, and I'm like
just randoms?
yeah, like all the time, and I'm like, thanks.
Well, it's an old school, like,
Yes, and you have the lip
Western
curvature and the
sorta,
way
yeah.
it goes, and it's all one color. Like there's no kind of.
I could not grow that mustache.
I don't
Even
know,
as
like-
a 42-year-old man. Like, there's no chance.
Oh, well, thanks guys, I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I like honestly,
Put your camera on. Can you put your camera on? Where do you do that camera there? Put it up in the middle there. So let's get YouTube Trev's camera in here quickly for a sec.
Trev cam.
Look
Yo.
Look at this mustache. Look at
Yeah.
this guy. Unbelievable.
I don't know. Like I
That
don't
lighting
really.
back there, too,
It
is-
kind of just looks like a shadow to me. I don't really see it, but I don't know. I honestly think like I tell my buddy and my dad, I'm like, are people just messing with me? Like
No, man, this is a fine.
They
this
just
is
say, keep it going?
It's a perfectly like groomed mustache.
curated, yeah, and everything.
Yeah. Oh,
and then
wow.
you got the fresh shave around, right? Like,
Yeah, I just did that,
So now
yeah,
it really
yeah.
pops.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, thanks guys. I appreciate
Hey,
it.
yeah, no problem, man. All right, there you go. That's YouTube Trev's mustache, everybody. That's great. We'll get to Lieutenant Eric and his 12 Days of Christmas. That is coming up. The inbox head coach Mike Sullivan guy popped in again with another Mike Sullivan quote today.
Yeah.
Like seeing head coach Mike Sullivan guy roll in. All this guy has ever done since we started up the new station, all he's ever done is text in images of quotes from Mike Sullivan. I thought we did a really good job just being sharp and recognizing where pressure points were and playing behind them, Sullivan said. When we play behind them and support the puck and just bringing people to the puck, I think that's when we're at our best. Not only does he only text in quotes from head coach Mike Sullivan, he also always nails it.
No,
like Mike Sullivan's got a great quote for everything.
Even after the start to the season, now they're turning it. Like he's found
Yeah,
it's very apt for the time.
it's kind of ridiculous.
Sitting on a collection like boxes of these quotes, hey, just kind of.
So first time you see McDavid and Bedard head to head here in Edmonton. Initial impressions of Connor Bedard. Curious what people think. You can hit us up at 780-218-9999. The shot is ridiculous. You can tell he's very shifty. There's a few times when he got the puck, though, I was kind of expect him to sort of take off. And he doesn't really have that, like, crazy burst through the neutral zone, so far, at least. And maybe that's because the way he, like, approaches the game from a mental aspect, he wants to sort of pick his way through people. But I was expecting him to look a little bit more explosive last night.
Hey,
But
left to wanting
that
more,
just
eh?
really was that. Well, I mean, ridiculous release. You can tell how smart he is and how crafty he is. He tried a couple of moves when he was down in the corner and like McDavid was on him. And I don't know if it was Bouchard or another defenseman, but he tried to like spin almost and sneak out of the two of them, and they knocked it away. But he's extremely creative. He's got a wicked release. His skill level is on another plane for sure. It was a good chance to kind of watch him for an entire game. And I don't know, I didn't see that level of speed in his game last night that would ever put him anywhere close to a Connor McDavid type level.
Generational talents sometimes are a little different in shape and size and whatever. But you're right. I mean, to echo everything you said, smart, confident, great head of hair. Like the guy looks the part. But yeah, there isn't that explosive what we've expected and saw here in this market with McDavid over the years. But yeah, it's still something different. The release is sure something, and obviously, as he grows into this thing and keeps getting more confidence as he goes, maybe we do see on a return date more of that speed or something. But early returns looks, I mean, he fits the part. Nice to see him up close. And again, a little gift for Oilers fans and Blackhawks fans alike to have a goal like that with all the eyes in the United States watching, Dusty.
Yeah, that was big. Probably about 400,000 of them last night across the country with well over
Midwest
350 million people.
into the West.
Trev, what do you think of Bedard last night?
Yeah, I've been a huge fan of Bedard ever since he was granted exceptional status. Just watching his clips in BC, like when he was pulling lacrosse-style goals. Yeah, he's just a real treat to watch. His skating will never be his bread and butter, though. As far as his explosiveness, it won't hinder his game, but it's not going to, he might get a little faster, right? But as far as his skating, right, his crossovers are good, his transitions are good. There was a video of Connor McDavid and of Bedard doing the same drill this summer in BioSteel, and they first showed Bedard. And he looks fine, right? He looks good. He's doing everything okay.
I remember this. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see McDavid, and it's just, wow. Like, now that's insane. Just going way faster, way faster. So Bedard will never have that game-breaking, like, speed. But he doesn't have to when he's as smart as he is and when he is as creative as he is, right? We've seen it in the World Juniors last year. He's very good at like faking shots and
he's extremely creative, man.
He's extremely creative, and yeah, man, it's just super impressive. He breaks down defenders like crazy, and he's always one step ahead of them as well. So it's going to be super fascinating to see where he goes, and yeah, man, just a real treat. It's nice. I can't wait for just for Canadian hockey.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see.
I can't wait to see
right?
what he does.
Yeah, no, it should be pretty good. If you want to chime in, 780-218-9999. I know many of you kind of been watching him throughout the season, but in a full game against the Edmonton Oilers, what was your initial impression of Connor Bedard last night? Guys, I think we're just a bit biased that super speed is required to dominate because of Connor McDavid, but Bedard will be awesome. Like Crosby. That one in from Luke today as well. Zulu says he's going to be fun to watch, and we need more of that in the league, no doubt about it.
Brandon from Windsor, I'm not that impressed with him. Lots of giveaways and poor judgment plays.
Yeah, but lots of giveaways and poor judgment plays. I mean, that's gonna come from a teenager in the National Hockey League. Like,
experience.
Well, guys who
Growing
are
into the
creative
game
are going to
and-
try things that
yeah.
other guys don't see or don't want to try, and sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. The only thing I took away is I thought like when he got the puck in the neutral zone, I was like, oh, here he goes, and it was more like sort of pick his way. I don't know. It was interesting. It'd be fascinating to see what he ends up becoming, because he's got an all-time shot. There's no doubt about that, and obviously extremely creative. And he's still extremely young. And we'll see what he's like when he's like 21, 22, 23 years old. Could be quite the treat for the Chicago Blackhawks. All right. Should we get into Lieutenant Eric's 12 Days of Christmas? Day number 6.
Halfway home.
Where are you going to go on day number 6? Let's find out. Once again, I'll give you just a quick little warm-up here. Did you want Trev and I to get in on the A&W line?
Look, I offered if you guys.
I'm nervous
would like.
about it.
No,
I don't know,
no,
Trev,
I mean-
where are you at on this? I'm nervous about it.
I'm nervous too, man.
Yeah, you know what? Let's skip on it today.
Okay, yeah,
We got to just listen to you do it a few more times.
I'll just say you're more than welcome to hop on anytime.
From A&W, is that what it is?
From A&W.
From
You'll
A&W.
know. You'll know.
Just 2 words.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Maybe once. I mean, we'll see. From A&W. I don't know how you do this.
You're going to say McDonald's, aren't you?
I'll screw it up, yeah. All right, here we go. Lieutenant Eric's 12 Days of Christmas, day number 6.
Day of Christmas EST he gave to me a black sedan guy being creepy. On the second day of Christmas EST he gave to me 2 Tombstone Tuesdays and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the third day of Christmas EST he gave to me 3 spa dates, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the fourth day of Christmas EST he gave to me 4 tomato aspics, 3 spa dates, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the fifth day of Christmas EST he gave to me 5 cafe lattes from A&W, 4 tomato aspects, 3 spa days, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the sixth day of Christmas EST he gave to me 6 alley cats, 5 cafe lattes from A&W, 4 tomato aspects, 3 spa days, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy.
Woo! That's our guy. That's our guy.
You thought I was going to go with the loggers.
I thought we were going to go 6 o'clocker loggers. We went 6 alley cats. Which works.
For the brewery, give them a little love
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
And,
no, that's
sponsors,
great.
we love the sponsors.
That's brilliant. I love it.
Keep you on your
Well
toes.
done.
Yeah.
Well done. I thought about jumping in, but I just couldn't do it.
Well, here's another
my
option,
nerves.
too.
My nerves.
When I say Tombstone Tuesday, you could hit a hallelujah. Like,
Well,
you could
actually,
just-
I
yeah,
was
why not?
thinking there is a window there.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's funny you bring that up because yesterday when you got to day 3 when you said 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, I actually thought there was a good spot where we could throw in
How dude.
2 Tombstone Tuesdays.
How dude.
You got the.
Okay. Well,
Pop
yeah, I'll
in
work
whenever
on
you
that.
want, you
I'll
know?
work on that. I'll see what we
Yeah.
can do there. That's that gets me excited. That gets me excited for sure. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. And we'll continue with that day number 7 tomorrow. This is cruising along now.
I know,
real
it's
nice.
like the NFL season 2,
Real
week
nice.
1, and you're like, holy hell, it's Christmas.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're like, man, it's already playoff time in fantasy. So that's big. Oh, I do want to get to this text from Jasmine today. Draymond has issues, and this needs to be addressed. He can seriously injure someone with his outbursts. Draymond does have, obviously, temper management
We
issues.
joke,
Like-
but yeah. It's
Like last night, if you didn't see it, I tweeted out last night. You'll be able to find it. Draymond was involved with Nurkic on. It was a battle, and then he turns around and he swings and pops him right in the side of the head, and like fake stumbles. So we don't think he's doing it on purpose, like he's going to confuse everybody when he's been the dirtiest, greasiest player in the association for a decade.
The stumble's kind of funny.
There's the stumble. It's such a
pretty bad.
fake stumble.
If you're gonna do it, like practice,
God,
practice
man.
the stumble and really execute it.
And then after the game, he goes, I apologize. And everybody's known me well enough that, if I meant to do something, I wouldn't apologize for it. But I apologize for this. I'm like, sorry, dude. You do not get the benefit of the doubt. Draymond has to be suspended.
He's
for that
trolling.
play.
He's
Like,
trolling,
He
man.
has to be. He's ridiculous. I mean, you could essentially you could say he cost their team a title one year. Remember when he got ejected and got suspended in the NBA Finals? Like I don't know if it's worth it for a guy who sets a lot of screens and can hand the ball off like this to Steph Curry. You know what I mean? Like it's such a stupid play last night. Go watch it and then think that what we're telling you about how he was like, oh, it was an accident. I didn't mean to do it. Go watch the play. And then listen to his response of, I didn't mean to do it. I said sorry. He's an idiot.
Nurkic postgame said, "I'm glad he didn't try to choke me." Like you take the punch, but you know what could come from a guy like Draymond Green when he's in that episode or in that moment or whatever it is. It's too much, and the post game is just a troll. Like he knows the whole stumbling thing too. I mean that's outrageous.
He was already about to hit him, and he's like, "Oh, this is gonna look really bad. Whoa, I'm gonna have to stumble." Like, come on, man.
But you had some torque behind that.
That was a,
Like,
that was a pretty good pop.
That wasn't.
That was a full-blown arm coming all the way around. That was not some dude who
Practice your
was kind of
stumbling.
stumbling and
Yeah.
like wanted to reach up and grab somebody. He full-blown. You know what he looked like? Because he was down the way he came around. He looked like George McFly when he punched Biff Tannen. At the end of Back to the Future 1, right? He had his arm down like this, and then he spun around and clocked him. That's what he looked like. That was nuts. Austin's in the chat. It says, Friedman just tweeted that the Caps are building a new arena.
Yes.
And moving to Virginia.
DC's taking the Commanders. It is
By-
between the
by
Commanders,
2028.
Commanders and the Caps Wizards. And the Commanders have won. DC is theirs.
What do you mean they're moving to Virginia? What is this?
They're going to be out of downtown DC, and the Commanders are now going to make DC there. That's the long play everybody's thinking here. And the Commanders
we'll
will
get
move
into
from
it a little
Maryland
bit with with Noodles when he pops by.
It's all the same area, isn't it? Hey, they're all jammed in there, right?
Yeah, I don't know the land well enough to know how much of a difference this makes. Media conference with the Capitals and Wizards owner begins in about 10 minutes to announce the organization reached a framework to move its operations and build a new arena in Virginia's Potomac Yard by 2028.
I think 97 was when their arena was.
Zulu's in and says, the Virginia Vultures.
Well, if you're not in the capital, you can't be the. Like, if they were called the Cougars or something, you're like, okay, whatever. You can.
Yeah.
You're not playing in the capital and you call yourself the Capitals. It's.
How's this sort out? I mean, in the end, it doesn't really bother me that much. But
No,
it's
I
like
know,
it's
but
curious.
I think it bothers people there. I was reading a little bit up on it.
Are they
but
not? Are they
the
not
Commanders.
happy?
It's the Commanders now get DC. I think that's kind of the whole power.
Well, how far away
power
is this
play
for
here.
the fan base to continue? Like, what's
They're
what's the-
downtown. I think that DC thing, and in terms of NHL rinks and stuff, like it was one of those in the States that was actually. Now you're gonna have to, much like a Canada thing, I think, drive out to some
drive a little ways.
some compound.
If anybody
Potomac
knows
Yards.
the details on what this
That's
what
a
this
Wyshynski.
commute is going
That's
to
a
be like.
Wyshynski thing. Maybe he'd be able to.
Yeah, well, Wyshynski's going to join us tomorrow, and we'll dive into that as we work our way through that show as well. The Edmonton Oilers have won 8 in a row. Your thoughts on all of it, of course. 780-218-9999. We'll save the advent calendars for hour number 3 today. We'll get into that because I do want to spend some time talking about that Tom Brady commercial that they released.
Got you a little emotional.
It was extremely well done, man.
Well done, well produced.
Yeah.
Well, like I mean, all the cast of characters.
And basically a what if Tom Brady played baseball instead.
And I think
commercial.
just seeing all that Expos memorabilia again, kind of.
Chris says the New York Jets and Giants don't even play in that state. This Capitals thing is really. Is that saying I'm blocked by the heart? Is he saying it's no big deal or it's a big deal?
I jest. There are no Wizards in DC either, so it's not like I'm. But you know what I mean. It's all the same, right? Maryland, DC, they're all kind of
really no big deal.
10-minute drive in each direction. You're in a different state, so
everything's so tight. It's not like here, right? If the Oilers move to Saskatoon,
it's a bit of a drive.
EST legal analyst and guy who got a concussion from a self-inflicted T-shirt cannon injury, Eric Macramalla. That in from one of my favorite text handles, Garth Vader.
Safety always off on the T-shirt cannon.
And Tuna Melt is in and says, EST legal analyst and guy that whispers to himself, if the shoe fits, every time he puts his shoes on.
That's a clean one, hey? No orgy involved. I like that.
That's pretty good, too. All right, keep these rolling in. We'll get to a few more of them. Macramalla himself is going to pop by around 7:45 today. Free advice coming up at 7:30 today. What do you need help with? Fantasy hockey, fantasy football, life, work, relationship advice. We got it for you, and we're not going to charge you a penny. We'll go there around 7:30. Jamie McLennan on the Oilers' 8-game heater. He's on the way coming up. Let's get to a sports rewind with Lieutenant Eric.
8 straight for the Edmonton Oilers. Evan Bouchard and Connor McDavid each extending their point streaks. Oilers besting the Blackhawks 4-1. The 6-game homestand continues tomorrow against Tampa and will wrap up Saturday night against the Panthers. Both Tampa and Florida losing last night. Canucks defeating the Lightning 4-1. Brock Besser with a hat trick. And the Kraken shutting out the Panthers 4-0. Vegas topping the Flames 5-4 in overtime. Sharks over the Jets 2-1. And Pittsburgh defeat Arizona out east by a score of 4-2. Blues firing head coach Craig Berube last night, naming Drew Bannister from AHL Springfield interim head coach. Blues have lost 4 straight and sit tied with the Oilers on 27 points. There are 5 games around the NHL later tonight. Raptors back on the court tonight. They'll host Atlanta in one of 9 games around the NBA. And Champions League group stage action will wrap up later this morning and this afternoon. Newcastle United need a win against AC Milan to keep their faint hopes alive. This Sports Rewind brought to you by Universal Rewind. Industrial electric motor sales and service, servicing many industries we rely on daily, from agriculture and aggregates to food processing and industrial manufacturing. Choose expertise, experience, quality. Choose Universal Rewind.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.701 on the Nielsen Show. Thank you very much for being here this morning. We love you. Tell your friends how easy it is to consume our content over here at Edmonton Sports Talk. I'm sure they would appreciate it as well. You can listen on the free TuneIn app. Of course, you can listen just online at edmontonsportstalk.com, and you can join us every single morning right here on YouTube as well. Some good responses here to this Virginia thing. Belineski says Virginia is literally right across the river from D.C. It's like going from downtown Edmonton to White Avenue. It's not that close, but you get the point. And then I think Kevin says it's literally 8.5 miles south of their current arena.
But for them, it's far.
Yeah.
Like for us, it's like,
yeah, that doesn't seem,
you know what I mean?
seem like,
we're used to driving 7 hours for a 6 o'clock or log or whatever it is.
Menopause Nick sliding into the nasty chat with a Macramalla intro today. God, it is a Christmas miracle, isn't it? EST legal analyst and guy who will only eat cheese strings seductively. Eric Macramalla.
Staring you right in the eyes.
Nick, make sure you text that in too, buddy. 780-218-9999 into the Paris Jewelers inbox. 'Tis the season for purchasing jewelry and other fancy, shiny things. Get it done at PJ's. Paris Jewelers, 22 locations across the country. Jamie McLennan will be popping on here shortly. One of the things we didn't discuss in the morning after show that we can certainly get to is the fact that Chris Noblock last night switched up Draisaitl and McLeod. And, you know,
I credit Paul Coffey.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow. I do like the idea of Paul Coffey getting credit for everything.
When do they finally get rid of Noblock and push Coffey into the HC spot? What are we waiting for?
What purpose is Noblock serving right now?
Placeholder, really.
If Paul Coffey is the reason for all the success.
I kid.
But honestly, if you do want to give credit to Paul Coffey for other random things, that can certainly become a bit on the show. 780-218-9999. I've almost got all my Christmas shopping done. Thanks to Paul Coffey.
Before he came in, I had nothing done.
That's the line. Blank. Thanks to Paul Coffey. That's it. Let's go. 780-218-9999. But I think this, like, you're not making this move with Draisaitl, Flint, and McLeod to get Fogel and Janmark going. You know what I mean? Like, that's not like Noblock was looking at the situation and going, yeah, you know what we need to do? We really got to get Fogel and Janmark going. Let's put Draisaitl with them. He made this move, I would think, and feel free to disagree with me because that's what Edmonton Sports Talk is about, good conversation, especially on the hangout yesterday with Dean Millard in the house. I was just sitting here just laughing for like 45 minutes on the other side of the wall, listening to Dino just with hot take after hot take after hot take. Millard was made for a hangout-style show, man. Like, him and Fraze on the hangout, we wouldn't even need Maddie or Tommy. Like, here's Fraze and Millard for 2 hours. Go. You've got local expert Will Fraser and hot take machine Dean Millard. It would just be absolutely incredible stuff. But I think they moved Draisaitl to get him away from Brown and Kane because they weren't. I mean, am I reading this wrong? Please tell me if you think I am reading this wrong, but I think they're like, Draisaitl. I know somebody did tweet at me in the first period and was like, have you seen Draisaitl move his legs tonight? And I'm very quick to call out Draisaitl on the effort level sometimes. The straight-leggedness sometimes in his game. You're like, come on, man, like get going. Last night wasn't one of those nights. I thought Draisaitl had it going pretty good. So to me, flipping McLeod to Draisaitl, also you're not flipping McLeod up to play with Kane and Brown to get him going. So basically, it was a move to get Draisaitl away from Brown and Kane. Is that not how you would have read into it too?
Yeah, I mean, you make moves for either to assist or to get away from, and it was the latter in that case. I would agree with you there. I don't think as your first option was getting them going. I think you're getting them away from something, and that's probably what it was. You're either getting guys going or you're getting them away from a situation. I'd go to your latter example in that. What say you? Hit us up in the nasty chat or in the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. Amish Man 19. I'm doing the dishes before work. I have to give all of the credit for getting up to Paul Coffey. You were doing it before his appointment. Zulu says he thought 29 was all over the ice last night. And I would agree. I thought Draisaitl was going. I didn't think Brown and Kane had a lot going last night, so they moved Draisaitl away and put him with Fogle and Janmark. And I thought Janmark was kind of buzzing a bit last night. Fogle's Fogle. You're going to get what you expect from Fogle. But yeah, I think that was probably the play, removing Draisaitl away, which kind of goes back to you're not really getting much from that line in general right now. Guys, I heard Paul Coffey came up with a new format for the NHL skills comp. That went in from Vitamin D today. Keep these giving credit to Paul Coffey. 780-218-9999. Cool Bit Hotline of the day coming up. Free advice is going to happen as well. Macramalla on the Otani deal around 7:45 today. But right now we do have Jamie McLennan, brought to you by our great partners over at Pro-Am Sports. If you are shopping for the holidays, and let's be honest, who isn't right now, you can get it all taken care of with the great crew over at Pro-Am. Your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists located in Edmonton on St. Albert Trail and 128th Ave, right on the corner there, one block north of Yellowhead, or, of course, online at proamsports.ca. Like you, they are sports nerds, too. Noodles, first of all, we're going to get to the hockey game last night, but has the city of Toronto recovered from the Otani thing just yet?
No. I mean, honestly, I would say they're wounded, and so they should be. I mean, there's the reporter, John Morosi. I don't know if this guy's ever allowed back in the city or the country of Canada, because that's a tough tweet. That's big. We call it a drag bunt, and he basically started the drag bunt right in Victoria and took it all the way across to Halifax, because that is just ridiculous. But, and everyone's talking like, well, of course he's going to sign with the Dodgers. He probably was like, there's no chance in hell I'm going to Toronto, but I'll at least take their appointment or whatever their call. But man, oh man, that's it. Nobody's recovered from it. I don't know if we ever will.
I thought the tour of Dunedin was supposed to lock him in.
That's right.
That was it. Yeah. That was it. I thought it was done there. And then, man, we had a day on Friday because the tweet about the plane leaving was like right near the beginning of our show. So it was full-blown Otani watch. Eric tracked that bloody plane all afternoon.
It was fun.
Yeah, just for the Dragon's Den dude to step off it in the ultimate plot twist.
Surprise.
Too good, man.
It was crazy because the first 90 minutes of our show, the tweet went out from Morosi, and then Bob Nightingale just took a sky dump on it. It was just like, and you could see the energy of our show was on an all-time high, and then by 5:30, 90 minutes in, it was like we were barely getting a pulse going. It was a struggle.
Not a struggle to get a pulse in this city right now. The Edmonton Oilers have won 8 in a row. They do it again in like tidy fashion. Last night in the post game with Tommy and Cass, you saw a lot of people being like, that was just kind of like a boring 4-1 win. Like this is what good teams do. And Yeah, I don't know if I'd necessarily describe it as boring. Like the big guys kind of did their things. Bedard with just an excellent snipe to get things going. But that game did kind of go according to plan, didn't it?
It did. I actually felt, not that you feel bad, but I thought Draisaitl had a chance for about 3 goals last night. He had some really good looks. I thought he had jump. But you're right. It was kind of a tidy win. I thought Mrazek made some good saves based on, some of the chances that were created. It could have been more of a bigger number. And you know what? Give the flowers to Stuart Skinner, because it was a bit of a sloppy game early on where they were giving up some chances. I remember at one point it was a bad change and it was a 3-on-1 that they didn't give up a shot on the play. But if that was another team that was kind of buttoned up, that's in the back of the net. Or if that's earlier in the season, they'll score 2 goals on that play because of how bad they played it. So there was a little bit of sloppiness early on, but once they got their legs underneath them and kind of started to roll with it, their big guys took over, and I thought McDavid had jump. I thought Draisaitl was really engaged in the details of the game, which we kind of haven't seen. We've seen spottiness in that, but a real nice win and to keep it rolling at 8 in a row.
Well, it's interesting because you bring up Draisaitl. We were just talking about it before you came on. At one point, Noblock moved Draisaitl away from Kane and Brown last night and put him with Foegele and Matthias Janmark, and we were trying to break it down. And, I mean, you're obviously not moving him to get Janmark and Foegele going. So, essentially, I thought the coach probably saw that Draisaitl had the jump and maybe Kane and Brown weren't coming along for the ride, so he switched it up a bit last night. And, I like that move. I think it's nice to see a coach pull the trigger on something like that every once in a while.
I do too, and I had this awful thought in my head and my heart. I love Conor Brown, but he should be up for the Selke right now because he's shutting Draisaitl down.
Yeah,
like that's kind of what I felt like, because they're trying like hell to get him going. And he had the called back goal the other night. It's coming. The details of Conor Brown's game, you can see he's gotten stronger since the start of the season. You can see he's gotten even stronger since his setback, him coming back from his injury, where I think he missed 4 games. But it's coming. Now he needs the confidence, finding it. He had during their stretch, he had a breakaway where he ended up almost breaking his leg, where he tripped and fell into the boards. He's had some chances around it. But I thought there was a few things to that move. You're right. Noblock sees that Draisaitl's got the jump. He's trying to get him away from different matchups, get him maybe extra ice time. But also, it has been a scenario where there has been a few plays where Draisaitl has given his line mates, and we'll say Brown, good looks, and he hasn't been able to do anything with it. So, maybe trying to take away the frustration on that play where, the guys on the team, we all know they love him to death, but they do need more production from Conor Brown. I see him trending all the time. I know what the fan base is saying, for what he's getting paid and all of that. But he is going to be a valuable piece of this team. He just hasn't been able to find the back of the net. And it is a work in progress. But on nights where Draisaitl's going and maybe Brown's not getting that puck luck, you do get him away to get some extra looks.
Noodles, just wanted to get your thoughts on the second coming here of Sam Gagner. 14 games, 4 goals, 7 points. Any comparable as to when you were playing and a guy like this, good value and kind of jumping into a team, but the second go around, I like to kind of think of these guys as a bit of a mascot, room guy, veteran presence. But when you're putting up the points that he's doing, I mean, it's not of a McDavid stature, but what he's doing in that bottom 6. Just your thoughts on his game and the second coming of Gagner this time around.
Well, he's a lot more mature. He knows how to play, right? So that's the key is this is a guy you can place him in any situation. He's become a very good player. He's like a Swiss Army knife. He can play some power play. He can play penalty kill. He can do anything. He can play higher up in the lineup, farther down in the lineup. And this is what this team has been looking for. Now, I know they had it last year. Guys like Costin came in and were scoring goals and stuff, but you've been looking for more depth from your team. If 97 and 29 aren't scoring, well, then it was the Oilers had no chance to win. Now you've got guys that are chipping in. And I like Gagner's comments saying he was the biggest guy on his line. That's the first time in his career he's ever done that. You're right. I mean, they're speedsters. They play with pace. They've got some skill. They're not big guys, but they have to win those loose puck battles. And that's the biggest key. Now, I thought about the comment. I thought about, looking at that line. I wouldn't be shocked if Ken Holland would want to add more size, at the bottom. A guy who's been valuable for Arizona is Bukestad. If you look, I'm doing an Arizona game next week. I leave on a road trip. I just got back from Ottawa, but, Bukestad's playing on their second line. And, he's a good player. I thought he played really well for the Oilers. Just unfortunately, I think they offered him a 1-year deal and he got 2 years in Arizona. But, that's what I think they might be shopping for, a Bukestad type of player to play on that fourth line just for size. But as far as Sam Gagner, he's done everything that they've asked of him and more. Keep in mind, he came to camp. You knew that he could play, but then they got to find a spot for him, so he's got to go to the minors. Like it's been a little bit of a road for him, but I think he's enjoying hockey. I think he's right where he belongs. He looks comfortable, and again, another leader on the team. He's really developed into a quality leader, which we all knew he was a quality person and had the skill. Now he's just backing up with the play and the leadership.
TSN's Jamie McLennan with us here on the show this morning. There are a few other things around the league that I want to get to, but I also wanted your thoughts on Stuart Skinner. And we saw Pickard play really well, when he got in last game. But Stuart Skinner, how much of the recent play of Skinner is from him playing better, or the team in front of him just not hemorrhaging grade A chances against like they were for the first 6 week Noodles? Have you been able to decipher the difference between the two?
Yes, because first and foremost, yes, the team is not hemorrhaging massive chances. I pointed out the 3-on-1 there with the bad change yesterday. Earlier in the season, that's going in.
That was the norm. But that was the norm. There was like 4 of them a game, right? Like,
I go back. I still, in being an analyst for 13 years, one of the craziest, weirdest games that I got to break down was Edmonton in Minnesota. That second period was an absolute train wreck defensively, where Jack Campbell made like 8 unbelievable saves, and he still got pulled in the game because they ended up hanging 5 or whatever it was on him. But like from a systematic play, that was more than dog park defense. That was just ridiculous. So, looking at that, comparing to the way that they're playing now, it's night and day. So it does help the stability of a goaltender, where you're not worried about backdoor plays. You're not worried about, breakdowns. Do you have to make big saves at the right time? Yes. That's what has been lacking with Stuart Skinner. You will say it over the last couple of years, because he did make the All-Star team and he was really good. And they were arguably the best team in the league from January on last year. So there has been that stability, but this team is more buttoned up and he looks more comfortable. I think he's handling the puck a little bit better, a little bit crisper. He's been better with his rebound control, but then the team is helping him out. So it goes hand in hand, but he has looked a lot more comfortable in the net.
Last one on this game, then we'll hit on a couple other stories. Bedard shot. I mean, it was just, there's not many times you see a guy who just shoot the puck and like, oh my God, look at this. But that was a ridiculous release. After the game, Skinner basically said, sometimes you just have to give guys credit for having wicked releases. As a goalie, how much of a nightmare is this Bedard shot going to be for the next 15 years in this league?
It is. It reminds me, there's only another guy in the league. Austin Matthews shoots the puck, that type of release that is really deceptive. So that's the one thing from a goaltender standpoint is Bedard shoots it in stride. He shoots it in front of him from the side. Like he doesn't have just one kind of bag of tricks. So it is like, to be honest, I didn't love the goal from Skinner's standpoint. He was in position. He was just late on the play. But then you go back to what he was saying, going, sometimes you have to tip your cap, where it's like, okay, I remember there was a player named Frederick Modine.
Big Freddie Modine.
Yeah, Freddie Modine. So I was playing in Minnesota one night, and we were beating Tampa. He was playing for Tampa. We were beating them 6-4. They pulled the goalie, and Wes Walls lost the draw, and it went right to Modine, and he one-timed it, took a slap shot. It went shelf, and it was in and out of the net before I moved, before anybody moved. And Wes Wells looked at me and he was like, what the hell was that? And I'm like, that was a one-timer that you lost cleanly. But sometimes you're just like, what, where does this come from? Well, I think a lot of times in the pre-scout and Bedard, okay, this guy could shoot the puck. But until you actually see it and experience it, you're like, okay, this kid is the real deal. So, not that Skinner won't be not ready, but I think when Bedard gets into the zone, you're going to have to be aware that this guy can be dangerous in all different facets. The only other guy that I could think of that I played against was Joe Sakic. Joe Sakic had such a wicked release, and nothing was a slap shot. It was all snap, and it was in tight, and it was quick hands, and it was all about quickness and getting it off. And I look at Bedard, and it's the same scenario. This kid has all the tools, and I thought it was cool that he was mic'd up. He has no pulse whatsoever. He's
nothing.
just kind of a robot sitting there on the bench. And this kid has got, he's must-watch TV. I mean, McDavid is must-watch every night. So is Bedard. And I've watched Chicago just for the sake. I've watched them a ton of times this year and watched them, go through root canal after root canal because they're not a very good team. But watching Bedard is worth it.
I'm sure the producers in the truck last night were sitting there going, we mic'd him up for this? Come on, man. Say something. Even when he scored a goal, he's just like, oh, yeah, nice. Come on, man.
He points back to the Vlasic kid. It's like, nice pass, buddy.
Excellent. Nice work.
It was good, though. It's good theater to watch him work because I can't wait to see, we'll say 18 months, 2 years from now, what he's capable of once he just, stronger, more confident in his position. Not that he's not. It's just that he'll know the league and been through it a couple times that he's going to be a dominant player.
You worked the Sens game last night?
I did.
Okay, so that was the other. I wanted to get to that. Kochikov and Tkachuk last night. What'd you think of the spaz from Tkachuk after the poke check?
Well, listen. The fire poker it's an egregious play. I'll tell you that because I used to do it all the time. It was kind of in the repertoire. Billy Ranford, all of us back in the day used to do it.
Yeah.
You don't see it anymore. There's only one goalie in the league that does it consistently, and that's Marc-Andre Fleury because he's 38 years old. So it's a surprise play. Dominic Hasek used to do it.
Yeah.
It's aggressive. The way it was done, though, if you actually look, like he didn't go for the puck. The puck was actually more lower in his pads, and he just went for the skates. So Brady was pissed. I'd never seen a penalty shot that turned into a 10-minute misconduct. And then the team's chirping. I mean, it wasn't – Ottawa didn't play very well. They weren't getting the saves that they needed. If you look at it, goals saved above expectation, those were the two worst teams in the league, 32 and 31 last night going head-to-head. Kochetkov ended up standing on his head, making some really good plays. Not so much with Korpisalo. I thought he could have been better in a couple of areas. But, that play, I mean, Tkachuk comes to play every night. And he was pissed and he was trying to get stuff going, but it was too little too late. And a penalty shot, like I say, I've never seen a scenario where a penalty shot ends up where the player gets a 10-minute misconduct and basically ejected from the game.
And before I let you go, Berube out in St. Louis. What do you think of that decision?
You know what? Expectation coming into the season, I would ask the question to Doug Armstrong is, what did you think your team was? And if you thought, okay, are we a playoff team? Are we going to be battling for the playoffs? Sometimes Craig Berube's a friend. He's a former teammate of mine, and I think he's a great coach. Everyone's got an expiration date. And I don't know if they're looking to spark the team or if it's maybe a shot across the bow or basically waving the white flag that we're going to blow this thing up. I'm not sure what the thought process is, but I'll see them tomorrow. I'm flying to St. Louis today, and it's Ottawa, St. Louis tomorrow. So it'll be a scenario where, Ottawa's in one again because they're going to have that new coach bump. And that's the biggest challenge right now. I feel bad for Berube because a lot of times the coach takes the bullet for the players, but the players haven't been consistent enough in St. Louis. So I don't know if it was a surprise move, but I didn't have him on my bingo card as the next coach getting fired.
As always, buddy, really appreciate it. Safe travels today, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
There you go. It's Jamie McLennan, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, where they're sports nerds, just like you. They should schedule like a weekly roundtable where people can just sort of roll in and the cooks and boys just chat with them about sports for like 2.5 hours.
Bring them in.
They got that room upstairs.
A Royal Rumble, and they just keep coming in. One guy leaves, the other guy.
Yeah, you know what? Behind the scenes EST story. The upper loft at Pro-Am was the first place we discussed recreating the show. Yeah, that was like the first one in the cards. They had like a nice big space up there, an office off to the side. Was going to kind of like rent it from Jack, but the landlord stepped in and some sublet stuff. But
it feels like a long time ago now.
That was only in August or July, I guess. That would have been August probably. No, it would have been July because we ended up renting this place August 1st. But that was there was a chance that we'd be doing all of our stuff from upstairs at Pro-Am, which would have been quite the scene.
There were a few other places we scoped out, and just thinking of them now, I know Iwanek and I checked out one and it had no windows.
Okay, that was you and Maddie.
You missed out on that, and I was.
We met with Metzi.
Yes,
and we're talking about doing it at Don Metz's place up top on the second floor. We could have had fun there. That would have been fun. Metzi had like all the original tapes from the Summit series and stuff, and it was great. But I don't think we would have got much work done with Metzi because he's wanted to talk the whole time. We're like, oh man. But then we found this place, and it's been awesome since. But yeah, that's a little behind-the-scenes Pro-Am stuff. That was that close. That close. Would have been great. All right, a couple of things coming out of that. We'll save it for hour number 3. I want to get into. He talked about. It was a really funny line actually from Noodles when he said, "I might want to put Brown up for the Selke because he's shutting down Draisaitl."
Someone's
right now.
on a shirt. You got to get that's a genius.
That's actually
line.
a pretty clever line from Noodles. But yeah, we'll get into that a little bit. Would you? I guess I'll just throw it out there now. We'll discuss a little bit later. Would you put Sam Gagner up in that spot for a few games?
Yeah.
I mean, tell me,
go with the flow here, right?
Sam's been scoring in limited action. I think he played 10 minutes last night. He's not going to play any special teams, so can he handle 14 to 15 minutes a night, 5-on-5, alongside Draisaitl and Kane? Probably. I mean, he's got better finishing ability than what we've seen from Conor Brown so far. I don't know. Where do you come out on that? Hit us up, 780-218-9999, or in the nasty chat. Well, some time in the third hour to kind of get into some of these conversations here, so we can do that. Some good text messages on giving Paul Coffey credit for everything.
Yeah.
This is a segment we're calling Credit the Cough.
It's drawn out a few first-time texters as well. Like, this. Yeah. Macramalla just be damned. It's this coffee experiment.
Thunder Dan texting in for the first time ever. Full credit to Paul Coffey for helping the Dodgers structure the Otani contract.
There we are.
That's a good one. Send those in, 780-218-9999. What else are we crediting Paul Coffey with? Where was the other one about the guy who got in the T-boned by a deer?
One guy's wife is pregnant. Here's another one. My wife and I are finally expecting our first child. Thanks, Paul Coffey. Comes in from capital C.
That's a good one. I was T-boned by a deer this week driving down the highway. The only damage to my truck was 2-inch scratch and some tufts of hair. Thanks, Paul Coffey. That's in from Greg in the Grove today. Credit.
The good and the bad.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing.
However it goes. It just works. This is a bit now. 780-218-9999. Do you think the deer goes back and tells his other deers? Like he said, he got T-boned by it as opposed to like hitting the deer head on. So you think the deer goes back, oh man, I T-boned this pickup today. I got a horrible headache right now. But look, I only lost one small tuft of fur. Yeah, like
really
I wonder, come back as a hero or a loser? Like you didn't see the truck? Or like, man, you're tough. What's the angle on that, eh? Let's get to your cool bet hotline of the day. We'll get to that in hour number 3.
3?
Yeah. Why you really want to get into it now?
Well, I'm just kidding.
Well, we don't got no time.
No. I just wanted to make sure.
Cool bet hotline of the day. Let's get a dub here. Heartbreaker on the EST parlay last night. Absolute heartbreaker. I like this play. Winnipeg Jets last night lost to the San Jose Sharks. They don't have Kyle Connor. They're playing the second half of a back-to-back tonight against the Los Angeles Kings. Kings in regulation, -111 right now. I think that's the play tonight.
Kings back off an Eastern trip. Hey, they're back home now?
Well, and the Jets a little bit shell-shocked here. Connor lose to the Sharks last night. Not a great look. So let's go Los Angeles Kings. Now, the Kings are way better on the road than they are at home. They're 11, 1-1 or whatever.
But they lost 2 on the road to wrap up to the Islanders and Rangers, so they're going to be a frisky, feisty bunch tonight. Eh?
This is what we call a great spot play, I think. The Kings minus 111, frustrated after a couple losses, unless you worry about that coming home from the trip. It's usually that, but they get Winnipeg in the second half of a back-to-back.
So now today's Wednesday. Like they've had some, 8:30 puck drop too. Must be a tired boy tonight.
Kings minus 111 in regulation. I like the value on this thing at minus 111 right now in regulation. So let's take the Los Angeles Kings in regulation as your cool bet hotline of the day. You can find that over at coolbet.com. When you sign up for an account, use the code LOCKSHOP, all one word, and you get a 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit up to $200. So you deposit $100, the bonus you $100, that type of thing, up to 200 on the max deposit there to get that bonus. All right, let's get to a sports update for Park Mazda. Maybe a little bit of Whale and the Wolf coming back here. Who knows? We'll get to free advice for Damon Bunting. What do you need help with? Fantasy hockey, fantasy sports, life advice, always our favorite. Like any issues around work, any issues at home, you need the boys to help you. We're not going to charge you a thing. It's free advice, 780-218-9999. We'll give you some answers on that. And Macramalla takes his Otani victory lap around 7:45 today. Let's get to a sports update with Lieutenant Eric.
Edmonton Oilers 8 straight wins. They defeat the Blackhawks 4-1. Evan Bouchard and Connor McDavid each extending their point streaks as the 6-game homestand will continue tomorrow against the Lightning and wrap up Saturday night against the Florida Panthers. Both the Lightning and Panthers losing last night. Canucks topping Tampa 4-1. Brock Besser with a hat trick, and the Kraken shutting out the Panthers 4-0. Blues firing head coach Craig Berube last night, naming Drew Bannister from AHL Springfield interim bench boss. The Blues have lost 4 straight and sit tied with the Oilers on 27 points. 5 games around the NHL later tonight. Washington Wizards and Capitals owner Ted Leonsis is preparing to move his NBA and NHL franchise to a proposed new arena complex and entertainment district in Northern Virginia. The plan is for the two teams to move to a massive new development in Alexandria's Potomac Yard neighborhood. Wizards and Caps have been playing in Capital One Arena in downtown D.C. since '97 and will continue to do so until a proposed new arena complex could be constructed sometime in the coming years. Raps host the Hawks tonight in one of 9 games around the association, and the final match day of the UEFA Champions League group stage takes place later this morning and this afternoon. Newcastle United needing a win to advance. This sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where the staff are more open than the jar of peanut butter on Mitch Lewicki's desk.
If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a figure skater. He wears like a white outfit and he does interpretive ice dances to my life's journey.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Cross your heart and hope to die. Move your lips, tell another lie. If you're going to curse, choose your words wisely.
How dude.
Break out the dirt, show me your sins. I wanna know where you've been. You tell me first, we can do this quietly.
No.
Oh, we can do it loud. Oh, we can do it loud.
How dude.
That was good, wasn't it? Man, the Do It Loud Tombstone remix.
Yeah.
That's got legs. That's got some legs
Coming
right there.
to a club near you.
Whale and the Wolf does it again. What's going on, everybody? Thank you very much for being here. It is the Nielsen Show. You can text us anytime. The Paris Jewelers inbox, old PJs, taking a pounding this morning. 780-218-9999. I just love this guy. I get where he's coming from. What a great day. The Oilers have won 8 straight, and I'm wearing my brand new sweats. God.
Yeah.
Is there anything better?
Credit Paul Coffey.
Thanks, Paul Coffey.
And with these scenarios too, you have to also end it with, but he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about this one from Stampater? Holy crap, I finally realized today that I had text line wrong in my phone. Here I thought my takes were just terrible. So he's been sending in for months just text to some. I don't know who they've been going to.
No replies, hey?
Good to see you, Stampater. Welcome back. I do love the idea of somebody
780-218-9999.
Who are they going to? I need to know.
That's the number. Jordy Mackison says, "Do It Loud" has currently been the top song on my playlist. I like that. Tommy V is in and says, "I've been working a lot lately." Actually, it's funny because you can only see part of the text to start. It says, "I've been working a lot lately, and last night I came home to," and I was like, "Oh no, this isn't confessions. This is free advice." We're going to get free advice for Damon Bunting here in just a second. But I've been working a lot lately. Last night I came home to my favorite supper waiting in the oven, and my wife gave me a really nice neck rub before bed. Thanks, Paul Coffey. That's in from Tommy V this morning. Some of these Paul Coffey texts are actually going to take a run. It's a really strong day for Macramalla intros as well. All right, let's get into it. Free advice. Here we go. It's for Damon Bunting. He is your local slumlord. Nobody slums it better than Damon Bunting. You know what Damon Bunting likes to do around Christmas time? Bring a lot of cheer to everybody. He's basically like skinny realtor Santa Claus.
Yeah, he's going to come in here later today. We're all going to sit on his lap.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Or is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow, actually.
I'm
All right,
so
we're going to
excited.
sit on Damon Bunting's lap tomorrow.
I can't wait. Yeah,
he doesn't know it yet, but Lieutenant Eric's going to sit on his lap tomorrow.
Chad's taking pictures.
Yeah. Look, if you're buying or selling, I don't know how that is around Christmas time. I feel like a lot of people don't want to move around the holidays. Probably a slow time for realtors. Who knows? But it's never a bad time to reach out. Visit his website, damonbunting.com, or hop on Instagram. Find him at Damon Bunting Real Estate. He is one of the most well-respected and highest-producing realtors in the Edmonton area.
It's worth the conversation. Create the back and forth. Then you can always I'll get back to you in the new year. You let him know maybe what you're looking for. And
Damon Bunting, it's worth the conversation. That might even be a better tagline than awesome slumlord trainer.
Maybe for the new year we replace that.
What do you need from an advice perspective? Dusty, to go hard in my hockey draft for Ovechkin, thinking he will turn his scoring around. Ugh. I have OV in the Juan Rincon Hockey League where I have won 5 of the last 10 years and am leading again this year. This is a full-blown dynasty. Now, there's a long way to go, but when you have Connor McDavid and Evan Bouchard on your team, things are probably going to go well for you in a hockey pool. I would probably – Ovechkin will have some level of bounce back compared to his production right now, but I don't think all of a sudden there's going to be like a 30-goal and 40-game heater coming down the stretch for Ovi. So I would say, no, you probably don't go after that right now. Hey, Dusty, fantasy advice. I have Eckler, Montgomery, Pollard, and Bijan Robinson, 2 starters in my flex. Who's the odd man out? Boy. Are you talking like rest of season, or are you just talking this week with playoff matchups? I mean, once again, remember Fantasy Football 5 every day at 11:50 right after the lock shop. Let me just look up some of these matchups this week. Eckler has been extremely frustrating. He gets the Raiders. Herbert is out. Does that mean they rely more heavily on Eckler? I still feel like Eckler's got to have – Eckler's been a fantasy bust this year, considering where he's being drafted. Cost me playoffs in 2 leagues. Eckler's dead to me. But you still might probably want to run him out here. Montgomery, split time with Jahmyr Gibbs. They get the Broncos this week. Tony Pollard, speaking of other disappointments, he was a late first rounder, gets the Buffalo Bills. And then who's Atlanta play this week? Carolina Panthers.
Ooh.
You know what? I might just run Eckler. Oh, you're in a good spot here. Buffalo, Dallas. Is that in Dallas?
Buffalo.
Oh, it's in Buffalo.
Yeah, that's why. I like that one from.
I don't know if I love. I know it's the Detroit Lions, but I don't know if I love Montgomery against the Broncos D. So I'll go Eckler, Tony Pollard, Bijan Robinson. Let's run with that one. Who else needs advice? 780-218-9999.
Chance of rain Sunday in Buffalo, actually. 9 degrees and rain.
Not snow.
No, rain. Yeah.
Just rain.
9 degrees and rain.
Let's get to a couple other ones. This one comes in via text message. Hey, Dusty, is Brock Purdy a must start in fantasy the rest of the way? Yeah, I kind of have to be. He's tied with Dak essentially as a front runner for the MVP. So with the offensive weapons there, Purdy's a must start pretty much every single week. A little old lady at work put a mistletoe above her doorway, and everybody's kissing her on the cheek because she's so old and harmless. But I don't want to. Should I give in? What do you think?
Huh.
So I'm imagining like she's probably like in her 60s, maybe 70s.
And if everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing
it's not
it.
Like you don't want to be the first one because then it's a trap.
No, but she's just like this horny little old lady who just wants all these kisses under the mistletoe. Eh? Like
they're not open mouth kisses. It's
yeah,
just
she's
peck
not
on the
Frenching
cheek.
you. Like, I mean, I kiss her cheek. Not every single day. Like, I think you kiss her once, and then if anybody's like, how come you're not kissing, I don't know, Meredith or whatever every day? Well, it's because I already kissed her once under the mistletoe.
I'd kind of ask what you're waiting for. Why haven't you not yet? Maybe
Well,
a nice kiss on the forehead. Grab her by the ears and just.
I don't understand why a mistletoe would all of a sudden make it appropriate to go around and start kissing everybody at work, though. This is 2023.
That's what
this isn't the mid 1980s.
But if everybody's done it already, the precedent's been set. You can.
All I can think about this lady is
How dude.
Whisper it in her ear after the kiss.
What do you need help with? Free advice right now for Damon Bunting. Dusty, I made my first sport bet last night on the parlay and we missed it. Do I give up or keep going? As Cool Bet says, stay cool, bet responsibly. As we used to say with the crack pack, know your limit, crack within it.
Yeah.
So, I would say sports betting is a fun way to add a little bit more oomph to some of the games that you might not care about, but just do it responsibly.
Limits and coolness, though.
Stick around for the ride. Lock Shop coming up at 11.
It's different for everyone, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, you have your good days, you have your bad days.
Yeah.
Last night was a bit of a heartbreaker. Oilers only scored 4. We needed them to score 5. Everything else hit on that one. That was a 6-legger last night. That would have been amazing.
Somebody says, sounds like a question for HR Daddy. Maybe you run this thing up the ladder, the mistletoe kissing workplace thing.
I know HR Daddy well enough that he'd
go
say
in for
there's
a
no
smooch.
mistletoe. No.
Oh, no?
No, well, that's a good point.
He's
He's a lovable
kiss.
dude.
Yeah.
But from an HR Daddy perspective for Edmonton Sports Talk, you'll never see a mistletoe
he's
in
a
this
hard
office.
liner. Yeah,
That's the last thing we need.
He rips it down.
That's the last thing we need. Guys, I've got this parent on the U11 hockey team this year that's a full-blown madman. I'm one of the coaches, and we aren't sure how to handle this guy. Any tips on it? I've only been coaching for, 3 years now? 3.5 if you include one of the COVID years. And we've had, and I know some people will be like, Dusty, it's going to change. But we've had really great parent groups every single year. Now, with that being said, my kids aren't yet at a tier 1 level.
There you go.
And I think that's a little bit different because if you play tier 1 in U9 or U11, you know you're going to the show. So, I mean, there's a reason that parents would freak out at that level. So I haven't had to deal with that yet.
I can't wait till you graduate to that.
I like where we're at right now.
Yeah.
It's still fun.
Yes.
Nobody's 10 and being like, I'm going to play in the dub in 4 years. It's just like it's been a lot of fun for us.
Bottle these moments.
I think you have to now. If it's a full blown madman, I mean, you probably got to be careful how you approach this. But there has to be some sort of adult conversation here, hey? Like it's probably not a good look. Tell him he's basically embarrassing his kid by being a psycho, because he might not even realize that. So I don't have great advice for this one because I haven't been in this spot yet.
Sometimes it's looking in the mirror. Maybe you record one of these incidents and hey, check this out. This is you. And then it's a different perspective.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, guys, urgent. Need advice. I recently signed a very important contract, but it wasn't until after the deal that was done that I realized my lawyer deferred all the money I'm owed until a decade from now. How am I supposed to live on $2 million in L.A.? That's a funny Otani. That's a funny Otani question. Keenan Allen or Amon-Ra St. Brown the rest of the season? Not having Herbert around probably doesn't help. But who else do you really want to throw the ball to if you're the next quarterback of the Chargers? Right? You're going to throw the ball Keenan Allen a million times. So I still might lean towards Keenan Allen because he's just a freak. But Amon-Ra's not a bad play either. I think you're probably starting both of them. It's a weird question. I don't know who else you would have that you just wouldn't be starting both of these guys anyway in the playoffs. Here's a good one. This one came in earlier today from Chris. My wife's a great cook, but she's a horrible baker. And it's the season for baking, so she sent some cookies with me to work, but I really don't want to take them because they're embarrassing. What do I do? No.
So she got the baking.
So he says she's a good cook, but she's a horrible baker.
Yeah, and she wants this
she
baking
wants
to go to
send
work.
the baking into work.
Well, look, she's not going to work with you. In that journey to work, I don't know, you drive, you bus seller, whatever you do, you have some time there with you and the baking. Like, she doesn't know she doesn't talk to the coworkers. She doesn't know. Here, give this to work. And then when she lets it go, then you can do whatever you want with it. Right?
What about, so you're saying dump them? Are you saying dump them?
Find someone in...
I say, but
homeless, you take it to a drop. I don't know. You do something with it.
No, I think
Somebody
you have
will,
to destroy all of the evidence here.
Like, blow it up?
No, I think you have to, like...
Controlled explosion.
Well, I was thinking you drive out of the city, find, like, an open field, take a shovel, dig, like, 3 feet down, put the cookies there, bury back. Because wives have this sense. He'll drive home that night and she'll be like, did you bury my cookies in a field out by Spruce Grove? He'll be like, damn it, how'd you know? You know why? Because she placed a tracker in those cookies.
High-level bridge, cinder block. You tie the little bag of cookies in it and drop them off. Nobody will ever
What about this?
Sleep with the fishes.
Who was that cookie company that sent us cookies like 2-3 months ago? Really good cookies, like high-end, nicely designed cookies.
Put George to hell.
You order those cookies. Or, well, actually, no. Go to Cookies by George. Now, people would know. Cookies by George are too popular. But find a place where you can buy some cookies, replace your wife's cookies with those cookies, tell everybody, hey, these are my wife's cookies. They eat them. They think they're delicious. And then the next time you see your wife, they're like, hey, thanks for the delicious cookies.
What are you doing, though, with her cookies? You're just kind of in the garbage? Or? Okay.
Feed them to a wild dog somewhere.
There's got to be something, hey?
Yeah, I think so.
You don't want to waste food. Give him to I want it. Yeah. He doesn't waste food. He'll put them in. Do you know that he's been hanging on to a chicken finger for years? And he freezes it.
Come on.
It's from Northern Chicken, and he says he freezes everything. And he goes, I'll go in there sometimes and just cut a slice off.
Maddie's been eating a chicken finger from Northern Chicken for years.
Just when you think you've known it all about him, you've saw all the food he's keeping around here.
We've got from Italian Center Shop.
Waste anything.
They dropped off Danishes like 3.5 weeks ago. Maddie's got 3 boxes of them in the freezer over there.
He probably has deep freezers stacked upon deep freezers, 24
I've always
up.
It's really weird because if I was to look into Maddie Wong's deep freeze, part of me was expecting a head.
Yes.
Like a severed head.
No.
But
it's
honestly,
15-year-old chicken fingers.
partially eaten chicken finger is stranger.
That he slices off at his leisure just to get a little heat every once in a while. Couldn't believe it.
What a guy.
Paul Coffey's idea. He's running it.
Bryce Young or Will Levis in the playoffs. You got to go Will Levis, I think, in that situation. RJ says, I have Tua, but he's been horrible 2 of the last 3 weeks, and his matchups are terrible for the playoffs. Should I pick up Howell? You can pick up Howell, but you cannot start Howell ahead of Tua in that Dolphins offense, depending on the health status of Tyreek Hill, I guess. But it might be nice to have another option, I guess.
Lots of advice for the crazy hockey parent. Senior Boots. I was that crazy hockey parent. Tell him to tell the dad that he will regret it for the rest of his life. My boy is going into med school. It all works out as it should. Senior Boots.
Oh, weird. So his kid's not going to the show.
Huh. Just med school.
Going to med school instead. What a loser.
You know,
can't even play professional hockey.
I think they call it a silver medal in the
go
biz,
to med school. Oh, I guess we all can't raise winners, can we? All right, you can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. My kid's going to med school, so it all worked out. Classic. All right, there you go. That's free advice for Damon Bunting. If you're looking to become a slumlord, Bunting's your guy. Visit his website, DamonBunting.com. Eric Macramalla is going to join us. How about these intros today? It's been a strong intros day. Let's bang in a few of these. Macramalla brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where Mitch Lewicki is just laughing at the show today. This thinks it's a hilarious show. EST legal analyst, and guy who stopped throwing orgies because Paul Coffey took the Oilers job and can no longer attend. That was in from Tom Dixon's mustache.
They're always more highbrow when Coff was involved.
EST legal analyst and guy who got a concussion from self-inflicted T-shirt cannon injury, Eric Macramalla. EST legal analyst and guy who not only looks at this, but also looks at that. That ties into that call from yesterday. EST legal analyst and guy who paid Youppi $2,300 in hush money after things went a bit too far during his recent Bell Center seat visit. Eric Macramalla.
The children.
EST legal analyst and guy who only has his beard to hide his Wu-Tang face tattoo. And EST legal analyst and guy who is not legally allowed to own a Santa suit or wear one within 800 feet of his own home. Eric Macramalla, who is actually wearing a suit with us today. Macramalla, what's up, buddy?
Wow.
You'll notice there are no pillows behind me because I'm in my office. So a few things. First, before I get to the intros, this year I did my Christmas cards. I call them Christmas cards because it happens to be Christmas. A little bit late. I did a 24-hour one. It's a bit more expensive than I was accustomed to, so I had to take you guys off the list this year. Okay, I know. But you never send me anything anyway. So, but I just want to show you that this is the card. Okay?
Man.
So I'm showing it to you.
There it is.
So you...
I've had that on my fridge for like the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
I flipped a horizontal here, but it's still not flipping. So that's Daniel and Nicholas and Emily. Okay.
The whole
so
crew.
You guys got your card. Oh, that's us at the Habs, the Leafs Panthers game in Florida over Easter. Daniel winning a tournament for districts. That's us in the Caribbean at a Habs game, and then that's them on the couch after they posted bail. So that's okay. So I'm showing it to you, so you say, "Hey, I got it."
Oh, here's what happened. I'm gonna screen cap this moment, and then chop it out and print it off and pretend you sent it to me.
And I still have the card that I told you that you sent me when Will with 1L was on the show.
Yeah,
it's actually in my office. It's inside my little cupboard thingy. When I open it up, it's there. It was you, Will with 1L, and Eric in a very pensive, thoughtful pose, looking away from the camera. It was pure genius.
It's funny, Eric, you mentioned that because it's a 10-year anniversary of that card. It popped up on our memories yesterday. So yeah, 10 years.
Well, maybe I'll get something else from you guys. Dustin, I like your haircut. I think it knocks off a few years off you. See, I noticed one thing. I noticed I'm pretty good at shoe size, which is weird because I'm not Rex Ryan. I don't have a fetish for feet. I'm pretty good at that, and I always know when someone's got a haircut. And I always lie to them. Hey, that looks really good. Because what I learned is, even if you give people insincere compliments, they will accept them. As far as the cannon injury, there's actually a legal case on that. Believe it or not, the mascot used the cannon for the shirt, knocked someone's eye out. Basically, they got sued, and that fan lost.
Wait, is that a true story?
Yeah, it's happened. I taught it I taught it at law school in my sports law class. That when you go to a game, there's this voluntary assumption of risk. But I'm thinking to myself, like if you buy a baseball, right? You can't really sue. And I'm thinking to myself, but this is different. The mascot's an idiot. As far as UP goes, I have two stories because you mentioned groping, right? I'm sorry, Dustin. Am I distracting you? You're on your phone. I apologize.
My wife just texted me.
Go on Tinder.
Her wallet is in my truck, so I had to reply. I
don't care. I don't care. This is
going off his list here, and
this is Eric time. So UP, I have two stories. One involves groping, actually. So there was a UP that was fired, right? Because he was groping women during games.
Oh my God!
Really?
I know. And then my other UP story is as an Expos fan. You see behind me, Expos.
Yeah.
I only give Expos caps, and I got some more Expos paraphernalia you can't quite see. It was really sad. It was a sad moment in my legal practice when I had no choice but to assign or transfer the UP trademark from Major League Baseball to the Montreal Canadiens. It broke my little Egyptian heart, and it's still broken. And medical school is for losers. Okay, I know that dad thinks that he's awesome. Let me explain to you what I've learned in youth sports. I was at a hockey tournament at Jay Peak in Vermont this weekend. Our team made it to the finals. We played this Boston team. They're like shushing us when they score a goal. They're cross-checking our kids in the head. This is U11 rep. Yeah, but it's no contact. And the parents are going berserk. I'm like, here's the thing. These parents, I think what they do is they assess their value as a parent by virtue of their kids' accomplishments. It's pathetic. So, Daddy, your kid's going to medical school? That's not because of you. It's because of him. And on top of that, it's stupid to go to medical school. Conditions for doctors are terrible now. You're in school forever. Don't make a lot of money. My God, it's ridiculous. It's overrated. Overrated.
Man, I thought you were just going to come on today and take a victory lap on this Otani thing, but you've really dropped some good stuff.
That was fun, wasn't it?
How many receipts did you save on Twitter?
Yeah. By the way, love your hair as well, Eric. The hair looks great this morning. It's just that
hey,
no shaving on the horizon.
Hair. Hey, wouldn't it be funny, Eric, if you were totally bald under your Mariners hat?
You don't know. You haven't seen me without a hat on. You don't even know. You don't even know. This is all. It's all attached. I'm like that Marlins fan with the visor.
The Marlins fan. With
You know the guy, with the
visor.
orange, the visor, the hair. He shows up to all the games. It's
Oh,
all
yeah,
fake.
yeah,
It's all
yeah.
it's all a ruse. It's all shaved underneath.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, there's
smooth.
always that one
Eric.
guy
It's all
who goes
smooth.
golfing. There's always that one guy you golf with who brings it and thinks he's the funniest guy in the room, right? Then you punch him in the face, and then he's not funny anymore. Apparently I'm angry this morning. It's because I'm Egyptian. That's the reason. You know, when my son Daniel is on the hockey rink and he's passive, I blame my wife because she's not, she's a nice little lady from the Maritimes. But when he's vicious for no apparent reason on the ice, I'm like, that's my boy.
That's my boy. Yeah. That's my boy.
It. Bring a little Egypt to the hockey rink, baby.
All right, so let's dive into this Otani thing last Friday, because when Morosi tweets that he's on the plane on the way to Toronto, did you think then you're like, okay, maybe he will be a Blue Jay, or are you still thinking, nope, he's not on that plane?
No, wait, I'm laughing because I remember seeing that, and I was at this hockey tournament I was telling you about in Vermont at JP, and literally what just happened now, I started laughing, and my eyes started to water. I'm like, are air traffic controllers now breaking news? Like, are you kidding me? There was no chance. I think I was pretty unequivocal on Twitter. I said Shohei Ohtani will not sign with Toronto, and I explained why. Yeah, I got a lot of hate on that, which is fine, but there was never a chance. I mean, there's so many reasons why he would stay in California. Number one, it's California. Number two, he won't be the focal point of the entire country. He's a celebrity, but kind of understated. If you sign with the Dodgers, you're one of many celebrities in that town, sports or otherwise. He looks at that roster on the offensive side. It's stacked. It'll be Betts, Otani, Freeman, Muncy, Will Smith. I think that's your top five in the batting order. They're going to pick up Yamamoto, I expect, or trade for Cease or Glass. I think Glass now is the guy the Dodgers will likely trade for, or maybe Shane Bieber or Corbin Burns to round out their rotation. Otani understands roster construction is inherently important because he learned that in Anaheim. So he wanted to go to a team that had a chance to win. We saw how intense he was and his high compete level during the World Baseball Classic when he struck out Mike Trout, right? I mean, this is a guy who, like any other athlete, really wants to win. There was so many reasons not to come to Toronto. Toronto just doesn't attract superstars. People say, what about Roger Clemens? Man, he was 34. They thought he was washed up in Boston. He starts doping in Toronto, and he pitches well. That's different. He was 34 and 35 when he had those seasons. Dave Winfield was 82 years old when he came to Toronto. I mean, come on. Let's just be realistic about it. Superstars are not going to come here. It doesn't make any sense.
Eric, where do you see Robert Hryjevich fitting into the Jays lineup? High in the order? That's your addition, right?
Well, he's a big security guy, so I could see him. I see him batting ninth. Yeah. I could see him batting ninth just to make sure that things go really, really well. He never really invests on Dragon's Den, right? He's always quite passive. Don't you find?
He's not as aggressive as a few of the other
Screams
folks,
American League.
Sure.
Yeah.
But at least he didn't go to medical school.
Yeah,
and
that's the last thing you
want.
want.
About the Otani deal, I was breaking down the math. Right, $700 million over 10 years. It's not a 10-year deal; it's a 20-year deal, right?
Yeah, because
he makes $2 million a year for each of the 10 years of his deal, and then once he's done, they actually have to pay him $68 million a year for the next 10 years. I love it; it's brilliant.
So I was gonna say, is this brilliant, but kind of greasy and not good for the league, or just brilliant and actually the way that it just really should have been done?
Well, I think it's the open question is, hey, have the Dodgers gamed the system? So the CBA, over 8 or 9 pages, I checked it out yesterday. It allows for this, clearly does. Basically, in hockey terms, is AAV, average annual value, will be about 46 million rather than 70 million. That's pretty much where he likely would have fallen, maybe around 50 to 55 million on the top end. This is a situation, though, because it's unprecedented because a player would really never do that. Scherzer's got some deferred money. Freeman's got deferred money. Betts has deferred money, but nothing like this. 97% of his contract is deferred. So you need the player to be on board with that. But there's still the AAV of 46 million. So I think basically with Otani said, look, let's defer 97%, but there's a premium attached. You're going to have to pay me another $150 million. Which they did. So I think it's just, this is the perfect storm. Otani is a different kind of dude. He's a bit of a unicorn, and it manifests in how he plays, and it also manifests in how he negotiates.
How about the tax ramifications of this? Because what was I seeing in the last 10 years? Look how far back he's moving. how about him scamming the tax system, basically, moving out of California at the end of the deal and getting the $68 million per year after that taxed differently?
Well, I didn't review the tax treaty between Japan and the U.S. because I'm not a low-energy loser like Jeb Bush. I have a life. So why don't you take your question and go to hell? But I guess what I'm saying is that people are saying, I saw some guy from one of the U.S. sports outlets say that, hey, he's not going to pay taxes because he'll leave California and go back to Japan. I'm like, well, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. There are tax treaties. California is going to chase down that tax money like nobody's business, right? So I don't know if this is an instance where he'll get away scot-free. The lawyers will get involved and may well litigate this matter, but he signed this deal as an employee in the state of California. So I don't think it's as easy as saying goes back to Japan and suddenly he's paying taxes back in Japan. I think that's I thought that conclusion by that sports writer was somewhat ambitious. Hey, did you just...
Yeah, YouTube Travis zoomed in and cut you, like, cropped it better, so we got you again.
I think it'd be funnier if you zoom out. But just try it. Zoom out all the way.
Trav,
this is the beauty of YouTube. Come on.
Yeah,
zoom out, Matt. Zoom out, Matt.
Well, we got Trevin today. He's trying to figure it out.
Is Trevor awake or is he sleeping?
Oh, yeah, no, he's working. He's working on it right now.
Is he on his phone? See, because you forgot that I could see you.
Trev, you see that little dial up near the top, like that gray bar? I think you can move that, and let's just see if it zooms in.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that just sort of changes the size of it,
Not working. So, Dustin, I think when you were on your phone, you forgot that I could see you.
Yeah. You know what? We go on our phones quite a bit when we have guests on because we're doing other things, but nobody's ever called us on it before.
Oh, you should have saw it before we had YouTube, Eric.
There you go. That's it. That's as far as it goes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, it looks good.
We can go through my drawers here if you'd like. It's kind of fun. Can't really see.
No, it's all good, buddy.
Here, what else do I have here? I got the federal court rules.
Ooh.
Right? There's the federal court rules. Wait, hang on.
Look at that. A fancy
opposite,
book.
Right? These are the
rules. Look at that. That's a lot of reading. No thanks.
Yeah, I got some reading.
Yeah.
See, because the issue with the image here is it's flipped, right? So when I go right, the image goes left.
Oh.
When I go left, the image goes right. And if I can flip it, that's one of your settings, but the flip doesn't work.
All right, buddy. We'll catch up again next week. Great breakdown on Otani for us, man.
Have we been on the air this entire time?
We'll see you later, dude.
I shouldn't have been angry, Eric. Okay, guys, I love you more than Otani's tax lawyer.
We love you too. That's Eric Macramalla. He's your legal analyst today. I have to tell you, when he backed up,
I don't know the suit holding the mic like it's an awards ceremony. Like the whole thing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I didn't listen to a word he said.
I mean, adding video to this show, and I'm also going uninterrupted for 3 straight hours. It's just made things a hell of a lot better. Let's just say that. 780-218-9999. You can send your Macramalla intros in if you want to try sneaking late. We're also giving Paul Coffee credit for everything today. So just keep those coming, and whatever's happening in your life, find a way to credit Paul Coffee with it.
Even though he didn't want to do it. He wanted no part of it.
But he doesn't want any of this credit. He doesn't even want the credit. Didn't want the job, doesn't want the credit. But you got to give him the credit. All right, who wants to play kind of easy trivia today? We got a fun third hour is kind of wide open. We got some things to take care of. Lieutenant Eric's weekly rankings of power coming up. We'll revisit the 12 days of Christmas, day number 6. We still got to do our advent here with Wayne Sports Cards. Talk a little bit about that commercial that they dropped. What if Tom Brady played baseball? So we'll get into all of that and a few other discussions I want to get to as well. Would you flip Gagner and Brown? Just asking to see where people come on. Don't get all over me. Just asking. 780-218-9999. If you would like to play kind of easy trivia this morning, get your hands on a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever. You can do it right now. Text YouTube Trev 780-218-9999. Let him know that you would like to play. He will pick one of you, and you will play kind of easy trivia when we come back after a sports update with Lieutenant Eric for United Sport and Cycle.
8 straight wins for the Edmonton Oilers. They defeat the Blackhawks 4-1 last night. Evan Bouchard and Connor McDavid each extending their point streaks. Oilers' 6-game homestand will continue tomorrow against the Lightning and wrap up Saturday night against Florida. both the Lightning and the Panthers falling last night. Canucks topping Tampa 4-1 thanks to a Brock Besser hat trick, and Seattle shutting out the Panthers 4-0. St. Louis firing head coach Craig Berube last night, naming Drew Bannister from AHL Springfield the interim head coach. Blues have lost 4 in a row and sit tied with the Oilers on 27 points. 5 games around the NHL later tonight. Wizards and Capitals owner Ted Leonsis is preparing to move his NBA and NHL franchises to a proposed new arena complex and entertainment district in Northern Virginia. Wizards and Caps have been playing in Capital One Arena in downtown Washington, D.C. since '97. Raptors and Hawks tonight, NBA action. It's one of 9 games around the association, and the final match day of the UEFA Champions League will take place later this morning and this afternoon. Newcastle United needing a win to advance to the knockout round. Sports update for United Sport and Cycle, a 4th-generation family-owned and operated business in the heart of Old Strathcona. United's been supporting hockey in our community for over 95 years.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.05 on the Nielsen Show. Thank you very much for being along for the ride. Today we're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studios. 5 flavors of wings now available at all Popeyes locations. The signature hot, the honey garlic, the honey barbecue, the garlic parm, and the ghost pepper. You can try them all. $9.99 for 6 huge breaded delicious wings only at Popeyes. Lots of people wanted to try to get in on this kind of easy trivia today. We're creating that Mr. Mike's buzz. Gotta love it. Got to love that one. I like Dean mentioned in here a little bit earlier. Who would have thought that clear audio and video would make a show better, eh? It's strange. Like on 1260 was a pretty good signal, but it would still drop sometimes, and it would be staticky sometimes, and we didn't have any video. This is why we say we're static free since 23. Yeah, it's been a game changer for us.
Downtown was a bit of a
downtown was a mess with 1260.
Even us in the studio, you'd hear other we'd hear other buzzing in the headphones, right?
Yeah, sometimes we would hear other stations in our headphones
wild ride
in the building. It was absolutely insane. So it's a lot clearer now since we dropped those damn IFBs that Maddie tried to make us wear at the beginning. Things have been rolling pretty smoothly over here, which
and
is
we can
nice.
make a beer. I mean, the
got
list
beer
goes
out,
on
6
and
o'clock
on and
lager.
on.
Got a text from I got a text cam back. I'm horrible at replying to texts. I'll get to it today, but they're hoping to have more cans available on the 22nd, right before the holidays.
Just in time.
Get your loved one a flat of 6 o'clock lager for Christmas.
I'm skipping town that day. Maybe I clean them out.
Wrap it. I want you to wrap a flat of it under the tree. What's this? Feels like 24 delicious beer.
Or even buy can. And you just keep whipping them out over the holidays. Here you go. Merry Christmas,
nice
Merry
too.
Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Gager hung one on his tree.
That was nice. That's a
real
nice touch, yeah.
Real nice touch. It looks nice.
Hell, put it on top. Tree topper. It's got the size, right? It's a tall boy. I mean, that's
the tall boy.
Tall boy.
All right, who's playing kind of easy trivia today, Trev?
Today we have Glenn.
Glenn is going to play today. Needs to get 3 out of 5 correct. A little theme to today. Let's see if he can get it. See if he catches on here at some point. We'll find out. All right, let's go to Glenn this morning. Glenn, good morning. You ready to go?
Good morning. Yeah.
All right. Looking for a gift certificate from Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. The casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave, Mark Messier Trail. Classic Mike Burger. Absolutely delicious. Here we go. I'll start the ticker after I read the first question. Good luck, Glenn. Here we go. Which Connor scored a goal in the game last night?
Bedard.
Which Connor had 2 points last night?
McDavid.
Which Connor hasn't scored for the Oilers yet this season?
Brown.
Which Connor will miss 4 to 6 weeks for the Jets?
Sorry, missed that.
Which Connor will miss 4 to 6 weeks for the Jets? You got it. He got it. He's good. We're good. He got it. 3 for 3.
Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am. Get it right.
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show. That's a paddling.
Oh, we've been strong. We're just playing by the rules.
Ooh, you better believe that's a paddling.
And I was in Miami with my new beach house. Well, it was a couple minutes from the beach.
That's a paddling.
The first year we took it to the limit. Take it to the limit.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Congratulations to Glenn. Gets it done. So the question was, which Connor is out 4 to 6 weeks for the Jets? Kyle Connor. Do you want to guess what the fifth question was?
Defenseman for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Nah, I just can't get Murphy in the mix here. I'm sorry. Which Connor is the starting goalie for the Jets?
Oh.
All right. Connor Hellbuck.
No love for Connor Ingram in here, hey?
Yeah, sorry about that, Ingram fans. That's on me.
Good on Glenn. He's going to Mr. Mike's.
He's going to Mr. Mike's. Come get that gift certificate. You're going to Mr. Mike's. Absolutely delicious. The fries at Mr. Mike's, they're different than the fries at Mr. Mike's as I was growing up as a child. They used to have like the steak cut fries, the wider ones. The fries they have now are probably my favorite fries in the biz.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, I'm not even kidding, man. They're delicious. They're like got this like outer crisp to them, but inside they're soft and French fries.
You just kind of crawl into one and make a little
I'd
bed.
I'd sleep on one of those fries. You give me a full-blown life-size Mr. Mike's fry, I'll sleep in that thing.
Good structure and the
Keep it
soft
nice and warm.
innards, yeah.
Danny's in and says, Skinner, 957, 957, 957, 957, 9. YouTube Trev loves that. Whenever we do that, he just starts giggling like a little child.
That's my favorite. Oh, yeah, that's my favorite part. Oh, I love that.
It is ridiculous. Where is it? Northside Yeg lays it out here and says, how in the hell can a team go from looking so horrible to looking like a contender again? It's nuts.
Look, we've been saying it. It's a first name and a last name this morning, right?
Paul Coffey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
We're
simple as
crediting
that.
Paul Coffey with a lot of
It's
this.
the assistant coach.
No, they did make a coaching change.
They
so,
did, yes.
Maybe maybe the old coaches, maybe Woodcroft and Manson did suck. I don't think they sucked because they were the coaching staff that had them rolling last year down the stretch and had taken them to some success in the playoffs the last couple of years. But everything was going wrong for the team before. Their lack of communication was not good. We knew they weren't as bad as they looked, and they're probably not as good as they've been over this 8-game stretch. They're probably close to maybe as good as they've been recently. But, coaching change. McDavid seems to get healthier.
Yes,
McDavid was not going in the first 15 games like he's been going recently. So you got that going as well. They're just playing. I think the one thing that you can certainly credit to the coaching staff, because it has been a big switch, is they are not allowing the ridiculous scoring chances that they were allowing before. They're playing a much sounder defensive game, and I think that has helped. But this is the team that we sort of expected to see right off the bat this year, right? But it's ridiculous how off they couldn't get out of their way. Like they looked like you had to blow it up. Like that's how bad they looked. Just a disaster to start the year, and now they look like a juggernaut. So, yeah, pretty interesting actually. 780-218-9999. You can text us in the Paris Jewelers inbox. One of you will end up winning text of the day for A&W, which is a $20 gift card. Mama Burgers in the month of December, 2 for $9.99. Casino Dealer Jay says, I think there's some sort of Oilers Moneyball type of story going on here. 20 in a row.
Well, yeah.
That would be something. This 8 in a row is the longest winning streak in the National Hockey League this year.
Yes.
Which is funny because when they were losing, we basically said if they're going to get back in this, they're going to probably need, for lack of a better term, the longest winning streak in the league this year. And they got it, and they're back above 500, and they're 1 point out of a playoff spot.
Blues have lost 4 in a row. Coyotes have lost 4 in a row. We talked about those teams as well in this wild card mix that will, come crashing down to earth at some point, you would think. Yeah. So that helps as well. And yeah, things are evening out as they should.
Saw people last night on the post-game show, pre and post, every single game, only here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Last night asking Cass and Tommy about what about a spot in the top 3 in the division.
Well,
and they're still 9 points back of the Kings, and the Kings have a game in hand on the Oilers, actually.
Yes.
So,
well,
but the Canucks and Vegas, they've both been.
Vegas have won 4 in a row. Canucks have won 3 in a row. Like they're still
tough.
trucking.
That's
But look,
tough.
you get these marks right, and if you can climb this wild card ladder, then you look to the next one. But
well, the
we'll
fact
get there when we get there.
The fact that it's not even Christmas yet. When at American Thanksgiving, they're like, oh, my God, what's going to happen?
It's a great escape.
They haven't lost since then.
Yeah.
They have not lost since we cracked our first 6 o'clocker lager as a group. I mean, you're welcome. It's worked out extremely well. You can credit Paul Coffey all you want, but it's a 6 o'clocker lager that. Yeah, but you know who made the 6 o'clocker lager delicious? Paul Coffey.
Honest Hansel says Dustin Schwartz, the goalie coach, doesn't get any credit.
I think we're probably okay there. But if you want to chime in, feel free. 780-218-9999. We got the weekly rankings of power coming up for United Sport and Cycle. Well, let's get into 3 questions too many today. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment?
3 questions too many brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, including dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, who's a little disappointed this morning that Ted Leonsis isn't moving the Caps and Wizards to the Park Mazda dealership. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. He presented them the room, the space. They made the money work. Yeah, but it was just, I don't know, it came down to personal, I guess.
Yeah.
Differences there. That's business. They'd say that's business.
I guess Virginia will have to do.
You'll have to. It's like going to med school instead of going to the show.
Potomac? Is that where it is?
Somebody correct me. It's Potomac.
Potomac.
Poetoemac. I think is how they.
Poetoe.
Yeah.
Mac.
Poetoemac.
Poetoemac is where they're going to be taking the Capitals.
And what is it? The yard. Alexandria's Poetoemac Yard neighborhood.
It sounds cool.
It does sound cool.
Massive development.
Put a couple bars there and.
Oh, it'd be a great time. Great time. Do you have a Twitter account?
I do. It's at Lieutenant_Eric. You can follow me on Twitter, but why don't you follow Edmonton Sports Talk?
Give us a follow.
At YEG Sports Talk on Twitter, or the X if you prefer. I think it's still twitter.com. But yeah, at YEG Sports Talk. It says your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Got the link to all the places you can listen and watch us. And if you're following that account, you're up to date on everything. The whole bit. That's where you get the news from. Follow it today at YEG Sports Talk.
It's the hub.
It's the hub. You want to be there. That's where it's all happening.
You also probably, if you're looking for just tons of great content, make sure you bookmark EdmontonSportsTalk.com because everything we do up here shows up on its own page at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. You can sort through. You can find the Achy Breaky podcast, our friends of EST, all of our shows up separately, and sport's been overwhelming. So thank you very much for that. Let's keep it rolling. Tell your friends. We got big things that we hope to announce in the new year and continuing into next fall. So good times. Follow it all at the Twitter account. Question number 1. We discussed this a little bit earlier on with Jamie McLennan, but it did come in earlier, so we'll get to it again. How much should we read into the Draisaitl McLeod switching last night? Not much.
I'm not reading anything to it in terms of like this is a
is it not something
signal or a sign or
is it something we just discussed today? Because it happened last night, and then you sort of just move on. Is that not what it is?
Yeah,
it's like a 12-hour news cycle.
It's within a game thing, and then you go back to. I mean, we're not whipping out the blender, are we?
Well, you want to read into it. I would say it was a nice in-game decision.
Sure.
From
Paul Coffey.
from Noblock.
Oh,
it was Noblock. Had to be Noblock.
The head coach
or Goalie, as they say.
There you go. Yeah.
Draisaitl. Pretty basic explanation on why it would have happened, and that would have been Brown and Kane weren't going last night, and Draisaitl was, and essentially Noblock was probably looking for a little bit more energy on the wings, so he put him with Foegele and Matthias Janmark for stretches, and it worked out. It worked out fine. Does this mean that Draisaitl is going to start the next game with those guys? Not a chance in the world. He'll be back with Kane and Brown. Mind you, it does kind of brings back to the conversation that I threw out there earlier. Conor Brown or Sam Gagner in your second line right wing spot.
I'd go with the hot guy.
Well, as some people had mentioned in the nasty chat earlier, and I'm sure it came into the Paris Jewelers inbox as well, Kane and Gagner looked good together when they played together. Did they not? Like I liked Sam Gagner with Evander Kane. So, I mean, how much longer do you wait for Conor Brown to score a goal when you could put Sam Gagner up there put him up there for a couple of games? Maybe it kind of gets Kane and Draisaitl going as a duo a little bit. I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think you have to do it.
No.
But I would say, if you're looking at Conor Brown and going, man, this production just ain't there, you could slide him down to the fourth line And you could move Sam Gagner up for a couple of games, see how it goes.
Can't hurt.
I don't think it's the end of the world. What say you? 780-218-9999. Question number 2. Wow, we haven't really got into this one yet today, but is the change to the All-Star format going to be great, or does it not really matter at all?
Well, change in sports is always viewed as, oh boy, tradition and all that.
Especially if LeBron wins it.
Yeah. But I think, All-Star games and All-Star skills, I think we're kind of used to change now and trying to.
It does seem like it changes every 2 or 3 years.
When you growing up, me growing up, I don't know what, it was East-West. It was pretty basic and straightforward.
Cool-looking uniforms.
Yeah, you knew what you were getting.
It was Owen Nolan pointing on Dominic Hasek, and then they still gave the MVP, I think, of the year to Mark Recchi because he scored a hat-trick earlier.
And I mean, but recently they're blowing this thing up. I mean, the interactive, with the internet, you can do it.
In Miami, they were shooting at surfboards.
So I mean, like Vegas, right? Like the cards thing and all this. So I'm for it. I think these, it's what do we always say? Every year this rolls around, for the kids. It's for the kids.
Yeah.
It's for the kids. Take a day off from watching hockey. Maybe just enjoy it. What was the question? What do you make of the changes?
Is it going to be great or is it like a meh? Have you dove into it? Because it's like, you have 12 guys and it gets broken down from there, right?
You have your traditional stuff, and then you get to like a finals, and then that's when you get into this, what do you call it? The skills competition within the skills competition, I guess.
Okay.
And then these finalists can pick the goalie they go in on or something like that.
Well, because I do hope of all the different things, and they've laid it out, all the hardest shot, fastest skater, they'll all compete. They each pick 4 events or whatever to compete in, and then you get your points. I do hope the breakaway challenge, if you're looking to crown the most skilled player in the league, I want to see a straight-up breakaway challenge where these guys are trying to score and the goalies are legit trying to stop them. That's I don't want the most skilled player in the league to be crowned and handed $1 million because he put on a funny cape and some glasses and scored with the knob of his stick between the legs of a goalie who was brought in from the junior B team. You know what I mean? Full blown, have these guys commit on the breakaway challenge to having to score goals on NHL goaltenders desperately trying to stop them.
Here are the events, and I think they're all sponsored as well. I think Cheetos has a hand in one of them. It might be accuracy shooting here, but you got the fastest skater, hardest shot, stick handling, one-timers, passing challenge, accuracy shooting, and then the top 8 players go into the shootout, and then the obstacle course is the top 6.
So the top 8 advance to the shootout.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the top 6 go to the obstacle course. But yeah, those fastest skater, hardest shot, stick handling, etc. That 1 through 6.
They pick 4 of those 6.
Yeah.
Compete. They take the points. The top points go into the shootout or into the breakaway challenge or whatever it is.
Very, very simple. How
and then they go into the obstacle course.
Yeah. I think it'll make more sense when we kind of get to it and see it all laid out. But I don't know. Why not?
I think what they should do instead is have the goalies race.
Backwards, blindfolded. Look, McDavid had a hand in this, so it's all good, right? There should be no complaints. I'm sure Coffey had his 2 cents on it as well. He had it in.
I do think that I think this is going to be really good. I'm actually looking forward to All-Star Weekend.
And it's in Toronto, so it's going to be done right.
Biebs will be there and Drake.
Spare no expense.
And all that stuff. Question number 3. Guys, what would you give Coffey credit for in your life yesterday?
A flawless dental appointment.
No cavities.
I got a cleaning.
Thanks, Paul Coffey.
I got a thank you, Coffey. Got a cleaning, and actually the hygienist was really gentle, which I always appreciate. Sometimes they're in there and they're like, you leave and you're all mangled,
What do you hate more? The pricky little thing, like that's pointy,
getting in there,
or the zzz, and sometimes it hits.
I know, yeah.
And you're like, ah!
No, the pricky pointy thing, because she's going on the front here, and she was really scraping hard, and at one point, that nails on the chalkboard thing, and I winced. And, I mean, I survived, but no, the pricky pointy thing over the. I had to get the X-rays too.
You did.
So they
I like the X-rays. I like biting the X-ray thing. You know what I used to hate as a kid when they would do the fluoride and they'd put it in the tray and then put it in your mouth. You had to sit there. You couldn't swallow or anything.
And then you get the sucky hose in there too.
Yeah.
Feel like a...
Like that. Just as you're doing this, they're like, hey, how's work going?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, man?
Tell me about your life.
No, my dentist is great. I go to Bob Ridley.
Yeah, right.
I only get my teeth cleaned by sons of play-by-play men.
That's
the only rule. Luckily, there is one here in town. So that's excellent.
She didn't talk at all either. That was the best part. I said, do you mind if I have a nap? She said, as long as you keep your mouth open.
Well, I almost fell asleep during my haircut.
Well, they get you down. Oh, really?
Yeah, I went for the haircut between shows yesterday. High and tight.
Look at that.
All right, this is going to look prime in 2 weeks at the Spengler.
Yep.
It's going to be real nice. A little short right now. But Trev said yesterday, Trev, did you not say that you were really good at telling that people got a haircut?
Yeah, well, as soon as Macramalla said that, I pointed to myself. I was like, I don't know. It's like a weird thing. Like, I've always had this gift. I honestly think it is a gift, but like people will be wearing a hat and maybe like not even an inch they get off. And I'm like, nice haircut. And they're like, dude, how do you know? How do you know that? I'm like, I don't know. It's weird.
He's good at haircut stuff.
What did you?
How about you guys not tell me I had white stuff all over my hat?
It was the Kelsey? What white stuff? I haven't
There's
seen.
like, well, what happened was I had to run back downstairs today after I put my shoes on. I hit my head on the roof going down the stairs, and there's like white roof stuff all over the top of my cool bet hat here. Anyway, I almost fell asleep during the haircut yesterday. Like, the guy wasn't talking to me. It's very easy. I go,
scalp massage?
Give me a 3 on the sides and take 3/4 of an inch off the top. And then I was just like this the whole time. I was doing the head bob the entire time. No, but I would say very smooth entrance into the Christmas concert last night. And I'm going to have to credit Paul Coffey with that last night. Like 2 nights earlier, it was a little backed up. It was a little bit of a mess. But it was smooth last night. So thank you, Paul Coffey.
That's the Oilers season, hey? Before it was a little of a mess, and now he's fixed it all up.
Yeah. No, I think that works out
Structure.
Extremely well. Let's do this. Let's do our Christmas advent for Wayne Sports Cards right now. And then we'll do an update. Then we'll go to the weekly rankings of power. How's that sound?
Love it.
That sound nice? All right, let's do that. Let's get it. Where's that Crack Pack song? Let me bring up the. Hey, wait a second. I think I have it in the hotkeys. Where is it? Haha.
If you see a card store on the side of the road, you think, gotta tweet it to the
Crack Pack! Crack Pack, yeah. I'm tracking down all the young guns today. Looking for the young guns today. Looking for the young guns today.
I got me a card, it's a heck of a pull, and we're tweeting it out to the Crack Pack. I got me a canvas, it's worth about 20, so hurry up and sell it to get more money.
The Crack Pack is a little old game where we can crack together. Crack Pack, baby.
A Crack Pack, baby.
Crack Pack, baby, Crack Pack. Crack Pack, baby, Crack
All right, let's crack some packs. Advent calendar, Wayne Sports Cards. And as we get into this, we do have to discuss the Tom Brady commercial that dropped, because in the Bowman draft cards, they have a Tom Brady Expos card that everybody's going after. The 1 of 1 was actually pulled yesterday by a break group. 1 of 1 super refractor.
Did you see the video, or
I saw a
That must
still
have been
image.
a
I saw a
wild-
still image of it. Yeah, it was like a smaller break group too.
Love it.
Yeah, it was wild. But I guess there's like $100,000 bounty on the 12 out of 50.
Oh, yeah.
So people want that card number 12 out of 50.
Man.
So I don't know. I might dabble in that a little bit. Get your hands on some of that. But yeah, if you're doing some Christmas shopping, I mean, no better place to do it for both children and adults than at Wayne Sports Cards, just north of West Edmonton Mall. They did a nice little contest yesterday, and Surveyor Brett actually won it.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah. He won it yesterday. I know last night he tweeted at me. He's like, winner, Crack Pack dinner. Yeah, he won $100 in credit to the new big group. Just had to follow their YouTube page yesterday. So that was nice. Congrats, Surveyor Brett. That's always good. SP Game Used dropped last week.
I got 1920 Upper Deck Series 1 with old Sid on the... Yeah, okay. Let's go here.
What do we got here
Let's
today?
get that young gun.
Nothing like an advent calendar. Oh, my God. First card I get. Clef Bomb. Oscar Clef
Maybe
Bomb.
we need the song today.
You know, you could trade that. So I've been thinking about this. Where do you guys come out on this? Turning Clef Bomb into Boosh Bomb. Boosh bomb, boosh bomb.
It was such
another boosh bomb.
It was a hit that was taken from us too early.
Exactly.
So I think most people would be okay. I think even Oscar himself would be like, yes,
Yeah,
pass
we'd
it
have
the
to
torch.
change. I have to get it redone entirely. But what do we think about repurposing Clef Bomb Goal Song for Boosh Bomb Goal Song?
Check it out, Austin Matthews.
Austin Matthews
Look
with
at
the
that.
one-legged
America's
Selly.
sweetheart. Jake
Kuznetsov,
Virtanen.
Brent Burns, Young Gun, Jesper Boqvist.
Okay.
Clef Bomb, Antoine Roussel,
Comfort.
Mark Stone, back looks
Hey,
fine.
Zach Hyman. They like these Leafs diagonals. Hey, it's
Zach Hyman at least taking a face off.
Love it.
My goodness.
Brandon saw it.
What a pickup, by the way. I was driving the other day thinking about, like McDavid and Draisaitl being amazing and getting Kane and getting Ekholm and everything. Like, there's been some good moves. Campbell, there's been some other moves that aren't that great. But I honestly think Hyman's the best one. Like, you got him on a really good deal.
It's no Michael Bunting.
He's the engine that just is always going. It's running on Mobile One. It's being taken care of at Universal Rewind. Like, it's just Zach Hyman just goes and goes and goes and goes. And yeah, Kane, and I get it. But the Zach Hyman signing might be the most important one along the way as they go on to maybe one day win a Stanley
And let's
Cup.
not forget the individual, I think, as well. What he does off the ice, everything inclusive, like the full package there. It's value all day long for everything that he brings to the team, to the city.
He might not be he's not at the Connor McDavid superstar level, but I don't think it's a stretch to say Zach Hyman's the perfect hockey player. Like, tell me a flaw in Zach Hyman's game. What is it? What's the flaw? I mean, he's sound defensively. He's going to score over 30 goals this year. He's on pace to get like 85, 90 points this year.
He's an author. He carries himself in a great manner. Like all of these things that are just added on.
Like, he is the ultimate role model for your organization.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here. People are probably thinking, but I'll just say I'm like in love with Zach Hyman. I love that guy. Like, I love everything about him. If I was to get an Oilers jersey, it would probably be a Hyman jersey. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just, yeah.
Actually, I think Pro-Am had an ad yesterday for a Hyman Heritage Classic autograph jersey. So you might find that. Looking for the holidays. VR Montenegro's in perfect timing. I think Paul Coffey for the Hyman signing. That works out well. Penner's Pancake says, if you coach minor hockey, just show them Zach Hyman video clips. And you can roll at any clip. Because I don't know, like, I know for sure not this year. And I'm pretty sure not last year. But, like, when have we ever come in the morning after a game and been like, man, Zach Hyman last night. How frustrating was that? Never. The only time we ever really talked about any sort of level of frustration with Zach Hyman last year was when all these goals that he scored got disallowed because he's probably working too hard around the bloody net. Like, he is the perfect hockey player. And they got him at a very reasonable deal. Am I speaking too highly of Zach Hyman here? Stop me if I am.
Well, what's the pushback? What would be the debate here? Who would let me?
There's no debate.
780-218-9999. What's the wart? What's the wrinkle? I don't see. No.
McJesus says Hyman is a modern day Ryan Smith, and nothing against Ryan Smith, but Hyman is a better hockey player than Ryan Smith was. To me, I mean,
I think
and everybody loves Smitty. I
Yeah.
get it. My wife, she's got to swing by her and pick up her walk, and she might slap me because she loved Ryan Smith. But I would take Zach Hyman on my team ahead of Ryan Smith every single day of the week. And Ryan Smith, we built this Smitty. Like, we love Ryan Smith too.
But there's a little difference there.
Yeah. I think so. Here I am, and yesterday we were talking about, Evolving Wild has him as a Hart Trophy candidate. Here I am just giving him a full treatment today.
Well, hey.
But I'm not going to get to that level. I just think he's perfect.
He answered the Hart debate last night, and maybe you dedicate 2 to 5 minutes every single show to just give Zach Hyman the praise and adoration he deserves. Every single show.
I will. You know what I'm going to talk about right now?
The Hyman minute.
Zach Hyman. Zach Hyman minute.
Sure. Well, why not? People can join in.
Minute.
Yeah,
we can make that work.
He's earned it.
Anyway, that's the crack pack for Wayne Sports Cards. But I'll give Toronto media credit. When the Oilers got Zach Hyman, they're like, you'll want him on every single line on your hockey team.
Yep.
And they were right. Like, you want him. You know who the Oilers need with Draisaitl and Kane? They need Zach Hyman on that line too.
I got one
but
for you
Zach
here.
Hyman's on the top line, making it go.
First time text, area code 403. Unsigned. Great guy. Perfect role model. Hardest worker. ... but not a passer. So we found it.
Hey, look, when you play with McDavid and Draisaitl, there's no element in your game where you need to be an elite passer. Don't ruin this. This is Zach Hyman Lovefest Day.
This is the high minute.
Like, he is to play in a Canadian market. And how many years has he been here for now? However many years it's been. To play in a Canadian market like this, a hockey hotbed, you would say, and never be criticized in any way is a miracle. Like we had, like during the slow start, people would be like, "Oh, I'm going to trade Draisaitl. Guys are never going to win with McDavid as their captain." But nobody, even in the down times, ever said anything bad about Zach Hyman. Like to dodge criticism in this market just goes to show that he's the perfect hockey player. Pet Slave says, we need to clone Zach Hyman.
I'm sure Coffee's on it. I'm sure he's.
If you could, there should be a hockey factory somewhere where they are just cloning Zach Hyman's. In fact, Zach Hyman probably knows enough people in the gaming industry to create the cloning device.
There you go.
That
He'll clone himself.
makes it work. Just seems like the best dude ever, too. Like he just
nothing
he's
phases.
perfect.
He's a
sorry for the love
soft-spoken-
fest.
No,
here.
it's-
I'm probably blushing because I love Zach Hyman so much, but Hyman is he's the guy. My God, man. All right, let's we'll skip over the update here. This one, let's just get into the weekly rankings of power today. For the great crew over at United Sport and Cycle. Look, you're home for the holidays. For the last 95 years, they've been Santa's workshop for you. Fourth generation, family-owned, operated business in the heart of Old Strathcona, right by the Save-On that I used to work at back in the day. Supporting hockey, sports, the community for 95 years. If you go on their Instagram, United Sport 1928, I believe, they're doing like a 12 days of Christmas thing right now. We're down at United. You pop in, and yesterday, I think it was like a $95 gift card or something like that, and they were on the mic, like in the in-house, being like, "It's a 12 days of Christmas. Here's what we're giving away." So I highly suggest you just go and hang out at United Sport and Cycle all
Wild
day
stuff,
and
man.
wait for the next day of Christmas, which would be a really good idea. But no, it's I mean, what do we say about United, man? They're the best. All right. What do you got? Yeah, weekly rankings of power here.
Yeah, so we have a draft coming up next Wednesday.
Oh, we do.
In which it's going to be the top, like we're drafting Christmas.
This is perfect because we're going to talk about the draft after.
Christmas movie, Christmas show, Christmas what? Characters?
Christmas movie characters.
Movie characters. Okay, I just want to get all
That's
these
the draft.
things down. Yeah. If it's a movie made for television, though.
If it's a movie, even made for television, would you want to make a Christmas movie and TV characters? These are things we can do.
Because I know there's no Christmas sitcoms or whatever, but you know what I'm saying. If it's a movie that you're not seeing, it was never in theaters, but it was just a made-for-TV Christmas movie, there are a handful.
We're not drafting the movie, but you want to draft the character
from said
a
TV
Christmas and TV movie character draft. I mean, we'll throw it out to the group. We'll throw it out to the commish and Glue Guy and Tommy, and we'll see where it goes from there. But yes, I think that's fair. What do you got?
Number 10, controversy already. The Wet Sticky Bandits, plural. Harry Lime and Marv Merchants.
Well, I don't know if we're going to be drafting a duo, though. I think you'd probably draft both of them individually, right?
You'd have to. But
Let's
how
do we want a duo category? I don't know if there's enough duos.
There's not enough.
There's not
But
enough
those two, like if you're just taking Harry Lime, you need the two. So do you make the power play move in a
stack
in a
Harry
stack
and Marv?
Like, is that a play? And I don't know how much that gets you. Maybe not. But and if I guess there would be a category of villains, say, like there's always Christmas villains, Grinches, if you will, right? Like they would be part of that. But I don't know. You'd need both. You can't just have one. I'd rather have none than one. But if you have the two and you're stacked,
man, if you like,
that's a
do you
power
start
play.
this draft in the 4-5 swing with the stack. By the way, we got to get draft order determined too. We'll get they'll get the wheel out there and stuff. All right, so here the Wet or Sticky Bandits.
Yeah,
Sticky Bandits. That was funny. Number 9,
Yukon Cornelius. from the Burl Ives claymation Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He saves the day. He does it all. He takes them to the island of misfits. He brings them back and reunites the dentist elf there and Rudolph with Santa and everybody's. Yukon Cornelius essentially saves Christmas, and he's an everyday guy. He's happy. He's almost like a Zach Hyman in terms of Christmas movies. So I have Yukon Cornelius, a personal fave of mine. Not high on the list, number 9, but a little love to the claymation Rudolph, one of my most favorite Christmas movies.
Number 8.
Shows. Thurman Merman. I don't know what category you'd suck him in. Maybe just like general, but general pop. Right? Thurman Merman gets you a little love.
Do you want a sandwich?
Do you want a sandwich?
Do you want sandwiches?
It's very spry.
Damn it, kid! I don't want a sandwich.
I gotta watch that again.
I'm glad he's on this list.
Yes,
because I've got some categories that we'll go over. I was thinking about this yesterday at the Christmas concert before the kids came out, and I didn't have internet. My phone for some reason doesn't work right around my kid's school, so I had. It'd be interesting to see how this works out. But we got a couple of different categories we can talk about. Number 7,
Luther Crank.
Is that from Crank's Christmas?
Christmas with the Cranks?
Christmas
I've never
with the
seen
Cranks.
the movie. I'd have no idea.
Is this
but it's Tim Allen, right?
Is that Tim Allen?
Yeah.
What's the one with Eddie Murphy? Is that a different one?
I don't know. Tim Allen, Jamie Lee Curtis, Dan Aykroyd. I mean, it's a start of Emmett Walsh.
Haven't seen this
as
one.
Walt Shield. I haven't seen it either, but anytime Tim Allen to me is just Christmas. When I think of Christmas, I think of Tim Allen.
Goes very high in.
You see what I'm doing
Santa
here? I've
Claus
done weekly
category
rankings
here,
of power prior to a draft.
I know
before.
what's going on
I'm
here.
throwing.
You're not laying out any. I mean, outside of Thurman Merman and the Sticky Wet Bandits.
Yeah.
All right, number 6.
The Grinch.
Oh, well, here's a conversation we have to have.
Yes, and this will have to be.
I
That's
think,
why
I
it's
think
at
this
6
was
middle
ruled
of the pack.
against last time.
You're right, because Jim
remember?
Carrey and the whole
Maddie was like, nope, there's only one
there's
Grinch. I was
only
like,
one
but they're
Grinch.
played by various different things.
One's animated, one's so they'll have
There's
to
only
kinda-
one Santa Claus too, Maddie. Thank God we don't have to deal with this anymore. God. Number 5.
Kevin McAllister. Kevy Mac.
What are you putting together here? There's some good stuff. There's
Number 5.
Kevin McAllister, number 5
a lot
on
of
this
value
list.
in this
Wow.
draft. Like you can go deep.
A ton of value. Yeah, number 4.
The old man from A Christmas Story. Watching that guy struggle through the holiday season when it was one of the most fun shows to watch. It's just the frustration and having to kind of keep the family together. I mean, you're a father and a husband. Your kids are kind of like the ones in the Christmas Story. You're not buying Marshall a Red Ryder BB gun anytime soon or anything. He's licking poles in the schoolyard.
It's a Nerf community now anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So the licking of the poles is... But the old man, I always thought that he kind of... You understand the role, I guess, as you age.
Number 3.
Willie from Bad Santa.
Willie from Bad Santa. Number 2.
Clark Griswold, Christmas Vacation.
Griswold, of course. He's not number 1 on your list?
No.
What the hell is going on here? Who would be number 1 on this list? Oh, okay. There's a couple options. What do you got? Number 1.
Scott Kelvin from The Santa
Scott
Claus.
Calvin, Santa Claus.
The
Scott
movie's
Calvin.
called The Santa Claus.
Yeah.
How could you go anywhere else?
And his initials are SC.
Clark Griswold's been in what? Vegas Vacation. You got the original vacation. Like
valid point.
That could be confusing.
Valid point.
And in terms of the prior commissioner, he'd
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
well, yeah, Scott Kelvin. That's the Santa Claus.
That is one of my favorite Christmas movies, man.
See?
I
How could you
love
resist?
the Santa
If we
Claus.
spin the wheel in year 1, you can't go away from Scott.
What's the name of that? What's the name of the little elf there? Bernard.
Yeah.
Bernard, Bernard the elf.
Yeah,
Man, he was great. Guys, I swear to God, if Elf isn't on this list, Will Ferrell's Elf. I mean, he's gonna
Judge
probably have to be there.
Reinhold's in the Santa Claus as well.
Yeah, he is. Close talker.
Yeah, David
Done
Krumholtz,
that.
the
Reinhold. I hated Reinhold in the Santa Claus. Man,
My
I like
name
him
is Judge.
overall as an actor, but hated him in that one. Big Maple Sports Card comes in and says Tim Allen equals GOAT.
Oh yeah, guy can do
It's a
any
big
role.
one. I mean, that is a really good discussion. If you have first overall pick, are you going Clark Griswold or are you going Scott Calvin?
It's the Santa Claus.
in the Santa Claus.
And if there's only one,
I do view that as Tim Allen's finest piece of work. Like, I know Home Improvement was a great run, and I enjoy Home Improvement,
whatever.
but I do think his role as Santa Claus in the Santa Claus is my favorite thing he's
the
ever
growing into the role as
Yeah,
the movie
yeah,
goes,
exactly.
like it's brilliant
done.
stuff.
Oh, it was really good.
Yeah.
Jen says, Cousin Eddie.
Well, no, look. You could go to Home Alone. I'd pick the entire McAllister clan if I could.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
The rubber sheets, right? The kid that drinks too much Pepsi. or
Yeah,
whatever.
Fuller.
Yeah,
Go
Fuller.
easy on the Pepsi, Fuller.
Get out of here, you nosy little pervert! I'm gonna slap you silly. You're cooking, Frankie.
That's
eh?
the second one.
Anything, yeah, one or two. They're all good. I'd pick anybody from any of those.
Quinn is in. There's the
There you
commish.
go.
Long live the Quinn. I have to binge watch some of these Christmas movies this weekend.
Well, yeah,
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I guess,
Anyway,
you know.
so as for Christmas draft categories go, I've got this here.
Mm-hmm.
I think like if we can get at least, we got to have a minimum of 12 rounds here. You said it's a deep draft.
It's deep.
We could even go deeper.
Why not?
I mean, so I think we would all have to draft a Santa, right? There's so many options with Santa.
Yeah.
Right? So there should be a Santa category. What about a hero category?
Yeah, the
Right?
protagonist.
A hero,
yeah.
a hero category.
Your Hallmark movies. or whatever.
A villain category.
Yep.
There's a lot of villains in Christmas
Somebody
movies.
always wants to take Christmas from us.
Somebody's
or whatever,
always trying to
yeah.
steal
Christmas. Yeah.
Right? What about Judge Reinhold?
Put him on the list.
Ruining a marriage here.
If you can do the Scott Kelvin Judge Reinhold stack.
Oh my God. What about? I think we have to have a category for a kid specifically.
It's for
Now
the
we can
children,
draft
right? Yeah.
several kids, but kids specifically. What other categories could we have here? Those are kind of the four, and then I was going to roll with 8 to 10. If we go 10 open categories, that's a 14-round draft right there.
What would Cousin Eddie be? Like a co-character, like not your main, but like just somebody.
See, I think we just leave that
Just
open
a general,
categories.
Gen Pop, eh? Yeah.
I don't know. So anyway, 780-218-9999. Or hit us up in the nasty chat as well. If we roll with categories of, you got to have a Santa, you got to have a hero, you got to have a villain, you got to have a kid.
Father and mother, is that too general too, or too specific?
Like
maybe
parents?
A parent.
A
I
parent?
don't know.
Yeah.
There's got to be something else though. I think
Parents not a bad idea. Like,
you might be robbing from other categories. Maybe.
yeah. Anyway, I know there's going to be some other ones in there that we can definitely make happen. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. If you have any ideas on other categories as
I can't
as
wait.
well.
Now this is the thing. Once that wheel is spun, the categories are laid out. Then you can really hit that work. Hey.
Abutski's in it says, hey, have you guys thought about bringing back Scalding Hot Takes? Scalding Hot Takes will be returning. We still have them yet.
No thought involved.
We're kind of, we want to make sure we do it right.
And it will be a little different, as everything kind of is now. Slightly
it could be
variation on
different.
the theme.
But, I would expect Scalding Hot Takes to be back, resurrected in 2024. Guys, what about an elf/helper category?
Yeah, like something like an assistant or
yeah.
I don't know if Cousin Eddie would be.
There would be enough elves in Christmas movie history to have an elf category, right? Wouldn't we? Like
even the claymation, the one that wants to be the dentist.
Yeah, and then like we said, Bernard and
yeah.
well, let's put that in there. We'll have the discussion on it. We'll table it because this is what happens now in our drafts. Things get tabled. Myself, Glue Guy, LTE, Tommy Gazzola, Commissioner Quinn Phillips. We'll have discussions about these.
I mean, Tony Cox is Marcus Skidmore in Bad Santa. Hey, now that's an elf.
Well, the helper category could be Willie.
Yeah.
Like that could be a thing as well. Guys, do Arnie and Sinbad make the hero versus the villain list? Jingle all the way.
Jingle all the way.
That's it from KR.
Find a jingle
today.
all the way soundboard for maybe the draft sounder. Eh?
Guys, Quinn will need a gavel and a judge's robe, and the white hair, the whole thing. I like that.
Yeah, the little wig.
Tim Allen is Captain Jason Quincy Taggart in Galaxy Quest. Far better than the Santa Claus. That comes in from Stan, the geeky Jets fan.
I don't know, man.
I've never watched
quite a
Galaxy
debate.
Quest. Never watched Galaxy Quest, but a weird time for it to pop up here on the show today. Here's something we haven't got to yet. Who scored a goal last night? Third goal of the game. Leon Draisaitl. We haven't even done it. Let's go.
Try. Try. Leon scored a goal tonight. Watching him play is quite a sight. You know this song is tight. Oilers fans, come on.
Here we go.
You've loved him endlessly since he was drafted number 3. He's a center with a size that was born in Cologne. Try to stop him, you can't do much more. That ain't no lie. You just just wanna see him shoot and score. It was try. Gonna make a fool out of you. Probably score a goal and assist on 2. You can't stop him, and that ain't no lie, 'cause it's try. Don't even try to play him rough. Leon is a German, so you know he's tough. His hands are crazy, and Aikens loves his eyes. Yeah, it's try.
Oh, Leon Draisaitl goal song. By the way, we might have a partner sponsoring the goal song starting in the new year as well, which is one of the most clever plays of all time from a sponsorship perspective.
The goal song Sugar Daddy or Sugar Mama is the, that's a position you want to be in.
All right, so it's already starting. The draft is, people are asking, when's the draft? How do you vote on it? The draft will be next Wednesday. We'll vote on it on our Edmonton Yank Sports Talk Twitter account. It's already starting. Tommy sent this to our hockey chat that we have like pre and post. So that's why you weren't on it, Rick. So he didn't even message.
Maybe start a draft chat would be nice.
Didn't even
Tom,
message the draft group.
Yeah. Oh.
This is the question from Tommy Gazzola, who we've joked about. He's finished dead last in our first 2 drafts here, and we joke about him always blowing it in the first round. Tommy's text today says, "Does Step Brothers count as a Christmas movie?"
Yes.
Go ahead, Tommy.
Feed into it. Yeah.
Take Dale
Of course it
Doback.
does. Yeah.
As your first round pick in a Christmas draft. Just because they have one small scene at Christmas does not necessarily make it a Christmas movie.
This isn't Die Hard here. Eh?
Well, this is I don't even, has anybody ever said, ever, in the history of movies and or Christmas, has anybody ever claimed that Step Brothers would be a Christmas movie? Like Die Hard, there's the conversation. I get it. The entire thing is based around the Christmas season.
Mm-hmm.
But Step Brothers?
No, it's a stretch. But I do look forward to the commission allowing it.
I hope Tommy's just like runs the table and has like 5 characters from Step Brothers and is like, I'm going to win it.
Justice for Tommy.
I'm going to win it. Wow. What a guy. What a guy. And part of me is like, oh, he must be really toying with us. But then also part of me is like, no, he's building his list and he's like, hey, let's go. Morning, guys. I was just looking for hour number 1 on the podcast and I didn't see it. Is my app just acting up? YouTube Trev, what's the deal?
I just text Maddie. It is not uploading. Yeah,
it's
I don't
not
know.
uploading.
It hasn't even. I uploaded it on Libsyn and it's not even on Apple or Spotify right now, so I can't even drag
is it
the link.
uploaded to Libsyn though?
It's on Libsyn, but I can't.
Sometimes you need an extra nudge.
I was gonna say you might want to just like go in, edit, and republish.
Okay,
might pop back out. I don't have to delete it. Just go in to edit it and hit publish again.
I will give
sometimes
that a go.
Sometimes that fires it out. Paco's in it says, you know what I find endearing? Watching Dusty dance along with the goal songs, even after all these years. Well, they're bangers. I mean, we're proud of what we put together here, and we're gonna be pretty happy with it. The commission has already said that she has it out for T-Biscuit. He's done.
Has it out?
And as we talked about, if you get less than 15% of the vote, you're relegated.
This is a promotion relegation
or
system
less,
now.
Less than 12.5% of the vote. Is that what we did?
Yeah.
Or should we say 10%? Like a real bad performance here is 10%. If you're single digits, you're out for the next draft. What do you think?
Single digits, yeah.
Single digits for sure.
But even though Tom's finished in the caboose position each and every year, he has been over the single. Like he hasn't.
Are you sure? Are you sure the first one he wasn't inside the single?
I think it was like close, like a 12 or I could be wrong. But yeah, I'm for this now because then it means something. You don't just get rewarded with like a first overall draft pick next draft.
Yeah, you're out.
You lose, you're out.
I think. Well, we'll discuss with the commission, but I think if you're in single digits, you're relegated until somebody else is in single digits.
And much like your boy LeBron winning the in-season tournament, you do not want to be that first individual dropping. I don't think that because that's a crown you'll wear.
That would destroy me, man.
You'll know for all.
God,
well, especially you. You're usually top of the charts. If you were to get relegated,
no, but I like being involved in these things. I don't
sure.
care. If I finish third, that's fine. Even if I finish fourth, if I finish less than 10% of the vote, I mean, I might quit in general. I might quit the whole thing.
But the reputation would follow you throughout every single draft. I mean, you'd be known then as the first ever relegated. That's a tough crown to shake, man. You wouldn't want that heat on me.
Guys, do we have a draft of people who get promoted? No, I think it would probably just be like we'll grab like Gager or Huss or something. Or, we'll do something like that, and then they're in until somebody else gets relegated. I guess
heard Paul Coffey's going to take it. He doesn't want to do it, but he's going to get in there. And he's gonna...
All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. Visit them at williamhuff.com. They've been wrapping things and promoting things and marketing things since 1972. If you want your place to look as good as ours, get it done at William Huff, who basically, they set us up nicely.
Well, the dream
team. We got
team.
the 3 wrapped walls. We had the dream team come in. We had the stand-up banner behind us that you'd see rolled out at like post-game. And then you got the stand-ups that you take with you to the casino. Great stuff. We got it all at William Huff. What'd you learn on the show today, buddy?
Well, minutes ago.
Whoa, what's this?
The NFL could award a 2024 regular season game to Brazil as soon as today. This, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. The expansion of the NFL's international series has been a topic of discussion at this week's owners' meetings in Dallas. And the decision on playing a 2024 game in Brazil could come as early as later today. So plan accordingly. I don't know, who are the teams? Who are the teams you take to Brazil, hey? What would be the... I'm sure there's the research involved as to the fandom there, but what are you thinking? Like a Commanders, Broncos type of game?
I hope not. This is just the NFL trying to keep pace with CFL 2.0 and
that's the global thing. Again, the CFL treads into the murky waters first. Everybody says, "Oh, what a stupid idea." Then the NFL comes along after the path has been paved, and what a good decision.
If you have an elf category, that Tommy's going to be picking one of the 7 dwarves, right? With the second overall pick, let's go to Tom Gazzola. Tommy, I'm going to put it in my elf category, and I'll take Sleepy.
I can't believe this is still on the board, but Dopey, he's coming home.
How is Dopey still available at this point? By God!
Speaking of the devil.
That's Tommy Gazzola.
There he is.
So, honestly, Step Brothers, Christmas movie, dude.
It's pretty good.
It's a good movie, but it's not a Christmas movie.
Don't plant the seed to the listeners to relegate someone because they're going to go and do it on purpose.
They're not going to do it on purpose.
Yeah, they are.
They're not going to do it on purpose.
They're vicious.
No. That's why you got to step up with the draft that people want to vote for.
This is going to be a draft of drafts.
The beauty and the artistry that goes into my drafts.
The beauty and the artistry that goes into Tommy's
He's
drafts.
already laying down the conspiratorial. People will be voting against him.
Yeah, all right.
So he's already.
He's trying to get that
if he
hashtag
loses, it's
justice
like, well,
for Tommy
justice
going.
for Tommy. Yeah, there you go.
Unbelievable. What a guy. What a guy.
I love it.
All right, let's get into your sound of the day. Can we come back around to Lieutenant Eric's 12 Days of Christmas, please? I'm going to get that Howlude thing. I'm going to try to hit that right after.
Remember, guys, 5th day. Feel free.
5th day. What's it? From A&W. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for it.
You jump in whenever you want. It's a.
Okay, you want it one time quickly
ride.
just to get in the.
Yeah, I just want to get the.
Here we
tone.
go. All right, here we go.
Yeah, okay.
Good to go.
Yeah.
We'll bring this all the way back.
Give me a count and give me a
I was,
3, 2, 1. Can you get
3. I'll go 3 and 2 and 1.
On the first day of Christmas, EST gave to me a black sedan guy being creepy. On the second day of Christmas, EST gave to me 2 Tombstone Tuesdays and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the third day of Christmas, EST gave to me 3 spa dates, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the fourth day of Christmas, EST gave to me 4 tomato aspics, 3 spa dates, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the 5th day of Christmas, EST gave to me 5 cafe lattes
From A&W.
4 tomato aspects, 3 spa days, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the 6th day of Christmas, EST gave to me 6 alley cats, 5 cafe lattes,
From A&W.
4 tomato aspects, 3 spa days, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy.
Woo! Got it! Nailed it!
Let's
You
go.
guys-
You guys been
Let's
practicing.
go.
This guy's a legend.
I can tell practice. That's
Oh,
practice,
wow.
baby.
I didn't want to say it, but we were here late yesterday. We were here late yesterday. I said, Trev, let's hit it.
Paid off.
Let's hit it. From A&W.
Yeah, you were saying Wendy's the first 10 times, and you finally got it.
Yeah, we got it. Well done, buddy. Well done. That is
7th
your
day tomorrow.
sound of the day.
We're halfway there now. This is
Halfway
like,
home.
we're
That's what they say.
Top of the.
Halfway home. I think I actually need to get a longer version of this song because it only goes for 2 minutes. This usually goes like 4.5 minutes, doesn't it?
It's usually like a 5 by the
might
end,
have to.
depending
This is
on
gonna be
the
tough. We might have to change the song. Maybe I'll give it to you. You can like find a way to. No, we're gonna have to find the new song. Because it goes right out there.
How is it not?
I don't know. I
This
only
is
have
like
2
8
minutes.
days of Christmas.
I got this like royalty free on YouTube.
That's the thing.
But
you got to pay for the other.
it's not
5 days.
I guess I need the other 6
Very
days. Here.
valuable.
Yeah, it's funny because last year was Whistle Dogs, Hold the
Hold
Relish.
the Relish, yeah.
And this year it's From A&W.
Still A&W on the 5th day, though.
Yeah. All right. How was the hallelujah? Did it rattle you?
That was good.
I only hit a couple of them. I only hit a couple of them.
You got to keep me honest. Yeah, it is good. I like it.
Yeah, that's good.
More drops, please.
Yeah, I want to try one more drop here. Just a sec. Okay, here. Chat for a second.
Okay. So, Trev, what are you up to later?
It's not working.
It's all gone, Pete Tong. This whole, I love the DJ Dusty thing now. You're getting on that one.
Yeah, man, he's kind of crushing it. Look at it. Look at that. Look at the earpiece. That actually works.
Yeah, it's good. It worked out well for the Do It Loud. We mixed that nicely. The Whale and Wolf today. You kidding me?
Very good.
Hey, we're on to something there. All right. Text of the day today for A&W. $20 gift card to A&W. Every single day we're dishing these bad boys out, and every single day in December they're dishing out 2 mamas for $9.99, which isn't too shabby. A lot of good texts today.
Yeah, a couple texts too on the podcasting. There's just technical issues. They'll be there eventually. We'll get them going later in the day. Usually we get them up really early.
Yeah, it's not most. This today does not appear to be an us issue. This appears to be a Libsyn
it
issue.
happens from time to time.
Yeah, but we'll try to get them up.
We're on it.
All right, we're working. We're working on it. Paul Coffey will get to the bottom of this.
He doesn't want to, but
all right. It's text of the day today. Man, we had some amazing Macramalla intros.
Yeah.
Let me run 3 or 4 by you, Rick, and you can pick here.
Oh.
EST legal analyst and guy who is not legally allowed to own a Santa suit or wear one within 800 feet of his home, Eric Macramalla. EST legal analyst and guy who not only looks at this, but also that, Eric Macramalla.
The clip.
EST legal analyst and guy who got a concussion from a self-inflicted T-shirt cannon injury, Eric Macramalla. EST legal analyst and guy who stopped throwing orgies because Paul Coffey took the Oilers job but can no longer attend, Eric Macramalla. What are you going with?
Oh, the Yuppie one didn't make the cut.
Oh, yeah, Yuppie.
I'm going with the Yuppie one.
Okay.
I was waiting for that one.
Yuppie's
I
good.
really enjoyed that one.
I skipped. I missed that. Yeah, you're right. The Yuppie one was good.
What did you tell us? I mean, what we learned, one of the Yuppies was
one of the Yuppies was actually fired for being
greasy.
a little handsy. Yeah. EST legal analyst and guy who paid Yuppie $2,300 in hush money after things went a bit too far during his recent Bell Center seat visit. You know who that one is? Tube Socks.
Just getting a full lapper from
Tube
UPA
Socks, who has been on the Hangout. Congratulations. You reach out to Tube Socks. Tube Socks will know. Yuppie getting in the mix there. All right, fun show today. Hangout's coming up. What are you watching tonight?
This morning and this afternoon, a little Champions League action. Newcastle United needing a win and a little bit of help as well. They need the full 3 points, and they need a PSG loss in order to advance to the knockout stages. So other than that, everything's pretty sewn up as far as Champions League, and then that'll be my afternoon. Dustin with a Y. I got a bit of an appointment with the electrician. We could do some.
That's nice.
Do some man's work around the house there, and then so taking a look at the NHL schedule tonight. Again, I think you had the Jets in LA tonight. That's kind of the game we're focusing on. Cool Bet Hotline of the day, correct? Jets and Kings, and then 4 other games around the NHL this evening.
Hangout coming up. Tommy Gazzola, Matthew Awanek, Guy Flaming in the house. Stick around for that. I'll be back with Lock Shop with Huss. Lots to get to today at 11 o'clock. Fantasy Football 5 at 11:50. And then the oil stream today at noon with myself and Tommy Gazzola as we continue to dive into the Oilers winning 8 in a row. And we'll be talking about it all morning right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. For YouTube, Trev and Lieutenant Eric, I am Dustin Nielson. Tell your friends about EST. We'd love to have them on board as well. Enjoy the rest of your day and take it easy.